Disclaimer, this stream is for entertainment purposes only. It is fully protected under fair use copyright law, statute 17, U.S. Code 107. Failure to uphold this U.S. law will result in a formal dispute. Welcome, everyone, to Sandy Diva After Dark. I'm your host, Sandy Diva, and joining me, as always, is Splatter420, Sag Arm Jose, and Astral Fugitive. Splatter, how are you doing tonight?
I'm okay, I guess.
You're here?
I'm here, yeah.
He's here. Astral, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Just, glad it's the weekend, I guess. Even though I only worked 2 days this week. Yeah.
That's all you worked was 2 days this week?
Yeah, because I called out Monday and Tuesday because of my back. And then when I went in on Wednesday, I was still kind of limping, and my boss saw that, so she just let me go home on Wednesday. So I really only worked yesterday and today. So I would like to say I'm super tired from the week, but yeah, I'm not really.
Yeah, but you were in recovery mode, like recuperating, so it's understandable.
It was hard walking around. It just sucks when your back hurts because you have to force yourself to walk around even though it hurts. Otherwise, it's not going to get better. I mean, it will, but it'll take like weeks. Like the only way to get it better in like a few days is just to force yourself to walk around. It sucks, but that's what the doctors tell me too. That's why I don't even bother going, because that's all they're going to
Wow.
tell me. And they use that as an excuse not to prescribe me any pain meds either. They'll
That's
be like,
amazing.
well, you don't really need any. We'll just and they'll prescribe me what do they call that? It's basically like Tylenol, but it's just like a slightly stronger version that they can't sell over the counter. And it basically does.
Ibuprofen.
It's called
ibuprofen. Tylenol 3.
It's yeah, I forgot. Oh, it's like, how do you pronounce that? Acetaminophen. Yeah, acetaminophen. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
that's just Tylenol. That is Tylenol.
Yeah, but I think so. That's why it does absolutely nothing. But,
yeah, it's just plain old Tylenol. And I don't know about you guys, but Tylenol does nothing for me. Like nothing.
No, the over-the-counter stuff does more for me than the stuff the doctor gave me. It's weird. Like the Tylenol extra strength does more for my pain than the stuff that I don't know. It's just it's weird. I don't know why that is. But
I would just go if your stomach can handle it. I would go right to the Advil. I'm not giving advice, YouTube. That's just what I would do. I would go right to the Advil and just forget about the Tylenol.
Oh, for back pain?
Yes, 100%. Because it's anti-inflammatory.
Yeah, that's probably what I should have did. I don't know why I thought that's my Tylenol did nothing. I always forget about that Advil and Tylenol are two different things. I always just assume that they just do the same thing, but I guess not.
So, Jose, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm just excited to start this new show, and my time really went fast.
Today?
Yeah, it just went really fast today.
No, I understand. My day went by quickly as well. I decided that it was time to do a show on here that actually had nothing to do with the Mandela effect. And I decided that it should be this because this is important. This isn't a fun one. I did try to make it as fun as possible. So, Jose, are you moving around?
Yes, I was closing the door. I forgot to close the door.
Well, it's more so you're breathing right into the mic and it's very loud. That's all.
Okay.
That's all. But yeah, go ahead. What were you gonna say, Astro?
Oh no, I was just gonna say so we're going to the meat locker tonight, is what you're saying?
The meat locker.
Yeah, it's like a I won't even tell you where I got the term. But it's like when you're it's just when you're going to like a dark place kind of.
It's not a dark place. It's just oh my gosh, we need to do something ASAP. So basically, here's the thing. If we don't talk about it, nothing's going to change. And something needs to change. And I tried to make it as fun as possible. To have funny stuff in here tonight. But we're going to go with a progression. We're going to start off with what the generations are. Because surprisingly, there's a lot of people that don't know what generation they are. And it will give you a timeline of what is what and what makes them that generation. And then we're going to move into the issue. And then we're going to find out the issue is actually bigger than what it's presented as. And then I'm going to show you something that's funny but at the same time terrifying. And then we'll wrap it all up. But nothing to do with paranormal, nothing to do with Mandela effects. That's on my other channel. If you are not subscribed to Sandy Diva Mandela Effects, it is the link at the top of the description. All you got to do is open up the description, and the first link is my main channel. That's where most of the fun stuff happens. This channel is going to be for still paranormal, UFOs, Bigfoot, cryptids, whatever, but also for stuff like this. And I really do hope you will stick around and watch it, because this isn't political. This is the future of humanity, more so than anything. The future of civilization, let's put it that way. And I believe something can be done. I've written what I believe should happen to some extent on the thumbnail. And I'm going to show you why with these videos that we're going to watch. But before we do anything, we need to do some shout outs. Let me make sure I have everybody written down. I think I do, because there's only 11 watching right now. This is the problem with the second channel.
Yeah, they'll start coming in.
Yeah, it is the problem with the second channel. If you're lurking, say hi. But first, in the chat tonight, if I can find my banner, it's hiding from me. We had Daniel Riffle, followed by Walter Kokubinski in second, and Noise Guru in third. Then we have Astral, Splatter, Jose. PayPal Me is back, and that is all I can see. Wendy B is here.
But she's going to be listening while she's sleeping, though.
That's okay, Wendy.
So we might make it into her dreams, maybe, if we're lucky.
That'd be awesome. Only the good stuff, not the other stuff. But get some rest, Wendy. Thank you for listening while you sleep. We appreciate it so much. I'm going to wait a few minutes to do, I have a thank you to do from off air. I'm going to wait until a few more people show up before I do the thank you. But I am going to put the ticker up. And actually, I'm going to do two thank yous. I want to do a thank you for somebody that I don't know why they're not in this ticker, but they should be. So I'm going to add them to the ticker and keep them there. But yeah, so let's just hop into this. I like I said, I tried to make this as fun as possible. It's going to be rough at first, but not at first, but it's going to get rough. But again, we need to see this. We need to know what's going on. Yeah.
You can only have so much fun in the meat locker.
True. Yeah. You got to explain the meat locker later.
Well, I guess it's not that bad, I guess. It's just when I used to, was kind of into like, taking mushrooms. That was just a term they used when you're tripping. Like when you have a bad trip, they call it going to like the mental meat locker, where like you go to like dark places in your mind and you start having like, you start thinking about bad stuff and negative stuff, and it's hard to get out of there sometimes. That's where I got it from. Yeah,
I got it.
But I mean, it applies to other things too. It's not just for that.
That's why you're always in a positive mood when you do something like that.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I've made that mistake before, or doing it at the wrong place, and that's when I go into the meat locker.
I'm putting Astral full screen because that's the cake he made.
Oh yeah, that was my mom's birthday cake a little while ago. That was probably the best looking cake I ever made. Every cake I make tastes good, like I was telling them backstage, but this is the only one that actually looked good.
What's on top of it?
Chocolate chips and this like it's kind of like sprinkles, but it's like, how they have like decorative sugar where the sugar crystals are just like really huge.
Yes.
But it's kind of like decorative like sugar crystals.
Very nice. They had a good crunch.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, the chocolate chips were a little too much. I probably should have put like maybe for the taste wise, I probably only should have put like maybe half of them. But yeah.
Well, it looks good though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
It does. All right, everyone. We're going to get started. Huh?
I haven't made a cake in years. I can't remember the last time actually.
Well,
Well,
Then
we're
you
not
should
having
take a
any.
trip-
There's no cake in the meat locker, and that's where we're going tonight. So.
yeah. I was going to say, Splatter, you should just go to a bakery and get a slice of cake then. I'm serious. It's nice once in a while. Treat yourself.
Yeah.
As long as you don't make a habit of it, you know?
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Tonight,
There's a
though,
bakery, like, half a block away from me too, so it's not hard to do.
Does that need to be rewound? Because I did watch a little bit of each thing. There's an echo. Why is there an echo?
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
no, this
Is that
is the
going
very
on?
beginning of the video.
Okay, I was just checking.
Okay.
Let me
Well,
see if the
pretty
echo is
close.
gone. Hold on for a minute. Don't talk. Is the echo gone yet? It is. Who muted? Jose, are you causing the echo? Unmute a second.
Must be.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think you
How do
are.
I sound?
I don't
You
hear
sound
an
good right
echo.
now.
Okay.
It was in my ear. It was very soft. It sounded like someone was playing the show in the background on the lowest of the low.
Sometimes I wonder if my earbuds are loud enough when I lean into the mic,
Yeah,
but I don't think you guys can hear. I think that would be. I'd be blowing
You'd be
out my ears
surprised
then.
what my brain can hear.
Well,
What my
yeah,
ears can hear, I should say.
Yeah, I know what yeah, sometimes I can hear like faint like things in the background too. But no, your hearing's probably a little better because you can always tell when my air conditioner like switches
Yeah.
on it. You know how it does those like phases where it kind of goes harder and lower and all that.
That's your compressor kicking on, yeah.
Yeah. You always seem to notice when that happens.
Who needs
Yeah.
ears when you can hear with your brain?
Well, your brain does actually help you decipher what you're hearing.
Oh, I know.
Ho-
I know. I'm just being silly.
I know. Hello, LVK and Mustard Seed of Faith. All right, we're about to get started. If anyone out there isn't sure what generation they're from, you're going to find out explicitly what generation you're from. This video is using the standard years. And I should mention, I thought my dad was a baby boomer. It turns out he is the last year of the silent generation, which surprised me. Wow, that's shocking. Oh my gosh, that is so shocking, Mustard Seed of Faith.
What?
Brian McFarland did a stream today with Teresa.
Oh.
Good for them, I guess,
Did
to
anybody
show
watch
up 2 years later.
it? Did anybody watch it? Never heard of it.
No idea. All right. Let's get started. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. Did you need to see the name of the person or anything like that?
It's on the screen. Infographics show.
Oh,
It's
okay.
infographics show. I got to edit that.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
I'll do. You want me to do this on 1.2 or 1.25?
2.5. Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Here we
your
go.
TikToks. When I was your age, we were working in the mines. Grandpa grumbles between mouthfuls of mashed potatoes. Okay, boomer. Your 12-year-old cousin fires back, eyes glued to his iPhone. Skippity toilet. And there you are frantically scrolling through job listings trying to find a side hustle to cover, well, living. But how did we get here? Why does it feel like the generations are at war? It wasn't always like this. Sure, back in the 1800s, they probably complained about how those darn 1812ers were ruining the Revolutionary War's generation's hard-fought legacy. But this idea of labeling people by generations and turning it into a culture clash, that's actually a 20th century invention. Generations used to be simple family labels until someone decided, hey, let's study this and fight about it. And now we have 7 distinct generations, each thinking they're doing things right. But why does this feel like a battleground for who's really to blame for the world's problems? That's exactly what we're breaking down in this episode of The Infographic Show. Every generation explained. Find out exactly where you fit into this generational
Pause.
showdown. The greatest
So, just out of curiosity, which generations do you think you guys are? Let's see if you guys are right.
Well, I actually argue with my mom about this a lot, believe it or not. She's like really big on this. And I always like to tell her that I'm like, I identify more with Generation X, and there's like some things I've read that put me in Gen X, but then there's other ones that put me in like the beginning of the millennials. You know what I mean? Like I've seen some things that said if you're born in 81 or no, 81 or before, you're Gen X. Because I was born in 82, but I've seen some things that go as far as like if you were born up until 83,
Oh, baby.
then you're a Gen X.
I
And then
graduated high school in 82.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember you told me that. Yeah. But then I see most of them say like 81 or 82. So I think technically, I think I'm probably a millennial by most metrics. But
Wow.
the way I lived, I felt more like a Generation X. But technically, I'm probably millennial, I think.
Make me feel old.
What do you think you are, Splatter?
I think I'm Gen X.
And what about you, Jose?
Baby boomer.
No, baby boomer. That's what I meant to say. I don't know where Gen X came from. Yeah, boomer,
Yeah.
I think. I don't like to be called a boomer, but I think that's what I am. But
Wait,
Actually,
Daniel
I didn't
Riffle
know-
said Oh, sorry. Daniel Riffle said 1990. That's millennial for sure, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, just
baby
check.
boomer is from 1946 to 1964. I had to Google it because I didn't know. I was cheating.
Oh, okay. Well, I
No,
guess
don't Google it because everything's messed up. This one is the most common breakdown. That's why I said we're going to watch it. All right,
Okay.
let's hit play.
Generation 1901 to 1927. This generation was born at the start of the
Pause.
new century filled with promise.
Sorry, pause. So both of my grandparents fell into the greatest generation.
Hawaii
So-
is the greatest.
They're going to tell you why they're the greatest generation.
Okay.
Hey, Dr. Bob. All right, let's continue.
Progress and excitement, but naturally history had different plans. The early years of this generation would be filled with massive upheaval, with many seeing World War I unfold and being haunted by the specter of the Spanish flu. But amid this, they saw many leaps in culture, as the Roaring '20s took off and brought jazz and swing music to the mainstream. But with every up comes a down, and the Great Depression hit, as many of them were approaching adulthood, plunging the entire world into economic uncertainty. And then the rumblings of war started, and that's how this generation earned their name. Most of this generation were fighting
Pause.
age when World War II broke out.
They're the greatest generation because they fought for our freedom and won.
And
understand?
some of them fought in both wars that were at the right age too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so yeah, there's the overlap with the Korean War too.
Yeah, my great grandpa was he was in World War II and the Korean War. Like, 'cause I think they were pretty close together, weren't they?
Yeah, now see, isn't that interesting? Your great grandpa was the age for those, but that was my grandfather's age.
Well, the thing is, though, my parents had me when I was really young, and my dad's parents had him when he was really young, and so I think my great grandma had my grandma when she was young, because that's why I was able to meet my great grandpa and great grandma, and they were around till like 1990. But
I gotcha.
yeah, you know what I mean. It was like kind of like like everybody was
Yep.
younger.
All right, let's continue.
And they became associated with the most iconic military triumph the United States had ever seen. Although there were many losses, they returned home to celebrations and went on to great success in business, culture, and of course, politics. It's believed there are over 100,000 members of this generation still alive. So if you're lucky enough to know one, ask them to tell you a crazy story about the good old days. With a legacy this large, there is no surprise the next generation was sort of overshadowed. Silent Generation 19.
I just thought that was funny. It said all my friends died so you could play Fortnite. I don't know. I just had to pause it too, but yeah. Okay.
No, it's okay. And the pausing is perfect because the silent generation, if you were born prior to 1945, you fall into the silent generation. And my dad was born in 1942. So my dad is silent. I thought he was a baby boomer and he was silent generations whole time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So my grandma and grandpa were definitely silent generation.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
1928 to 1945. The silent generation was also shaped by these world events, but not in the same way, as they grew up in a world in flux. The Depression shaped their childhood, leading to many growing up in unsettled circumstances, and the war caused wartime rationing. Many saw parents die in combat and grew up in a deeply patriotic environment. Speaking out against the government was frowned upon, and a strong sense of collectivism was encouraged. And that's how this generation got its name, because as soon as one war ended, another began. This was the first generation largely defined by the Cold War. The threat of communism was already alive and well in America before this generation was born. But once the Soviet Union got nukes, it was all hands on deck. The name comes from the fact that most of them were silent during the McCarthy era, keeping their heads down and maintaining a strong work ethic that had been instilled in them since childhood. That kind of low-key behavior leads to them often being forgotten as a key generation. Baby boomers, 1946 to 1964. The term
Pause.
Oh.
The baby boomers are the ones in control of everything in the United States. They have the highest offices in the government, including the president. Most of our living older Americans and Canadians, I'm sure, are baby boomers. There's not many left of the silent generation and the greatest generation. Like greatest generation are people over 100 right now.
Yeah, they're barely alive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
isn't there
99, over 99, excuse me. What were you saying?
Isn't there only like less than 100 World War II veterans still around?
Probably.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm saying. They're the silent generation.
That makes sense.
And the greatest generation, excuse me.
Well,
Or the youngest of the silent generation. Or the oldest, I mean, I had it backwards. Wow. The oldest of the silent generation and the youngest of the greatest generation are probably the remaining World War II veterans. But yeah, if you're in the silent generation, you're 99 years old at least.
Mhm.
At least 99. And the greatest generation is clocking in at 1945 is how old? 80? 81. So 81 and up. And that's why I'm saying the bulk of our older Americans, and I guess people in other countries as well, are baby boomers.
yeah.
At the moment.
Yeah, I'm in
So
there.
take Betty White, for example. She was a greatest generation, right? Because she was almost 100 when she died.
Yes, she was the greatest generation, yes. LVK, maybe. You're on the cusp. But yes, but you're on the cusp.
Yeah, when does it end in 64?
I guess the January of 65 is when it starts.
Okay. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm definitely in there.
Yep. You're definitely in there.
63? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's continue.
6 to 1964. The term baby boomers comes from the baby boom of the late 1940s and 1950s, as all the World War II veterans returned home and the economy recovered from the Depression and wartime footing. The result? A higher standard of living for Americans, a fast advance in commerce and technology, and a whole lot of woohoo. And soon the babies started coming, resulting in a massive generation of over 76 million Americans alone, making them the largest generation. And they grew up in a world that saw progress come fast. This was the age of the space race, of the civil rights movement, of Woodstock, and of changes that led to what most people view as a typical American childhood. But it was also an age of uncertainty and terror. If the words duck and cover cause you to dive under the nearest table, you might just be a baby boomer. This was the era when nuclear annihilation was the clearest and most present threat, as events like the Cuban Missile Crisis brought the world to the brink. Thus, baby boomers were raised to be cautious and deeply patriotic. But this was also the era of the Vietnam draft and the massive anti-war movement that followed, something that continues in how they impact politics.
I should say that this video is highly specialized to the American experience.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're in Europe or you're in Australia or New Zealand or Canada, some of this may not apply to you. Just needed to mention that. Like the Cuban Missile Crisis was extremely terrifying to Americans because we were so close to Cuba.
Yeah.
That the missiles could reach the United States easily. All right, I'm sorry. What were you saying, Astral?
Oh my god, I just forgot. Never mind. I completely forgot.
I'm sorry.
I hate that when that happens.
I know. I got completely mind wiped.
Yeah.
Oh no. All right, let's continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
To this day, they've had 4 presidents: Clinton, Bush Jr., Obama, and Trump. They have a reputation for leaning conservative, and their easier road in the economy and employment rankles the younger generations. But they're as ideologically diverse as the other generations, and as they reach retirement age by the millions each year, they show no signs of their influence waning. With the boomers casting such a long shadow, is it any surprise the next generation is a little more zen? Generation X, 1965.
Pause. Yep. So 1965 to 1980. That's the hard set year range for Gen X. And yeah, we don't give an F generation. We don't care.
Yeah, I'm definitely not generation. If I'm going by this, then I'm 82. I'm not generation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're pissed. The Gen
You
X
missed
cut off.
You
I'm
missed
sorry.
it. Yeah.
I don't want to be a millennial. Can I get drafted to Gen X?
Sure.
Trade places with me or
Get
something.
reborn.
We'll give you the Zennial term.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah. All right, but here we go. Here's Gen X. This is most of my subscriber base, by the way. Here we go.
5 to 1980. Known as the slacker generation by many of the older generations, Generation X largely escaped one major trial by fire, a major war that swept them up. While the baby boomers largely fought in Vietnam, this generation saw the latter days of the Cold War as tensions started to slowly ease. The most significant war of this period, the Gulf War, was a limited conflict that didn't involve a draft, and that led to them becoming far more involved in domestic affairs and far more willing to question the powers that be. This was the era where LGBT rights became a key issue, and when the AIDS epidemic swept the world. And while the world might not have been in as much danger of immediate annihilation, change was going to come fast.
Pause.
And much of that cultural shift would be...
I have to disagree. I didn't hear about LGBTQ rights until the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
No.
I heard nothing about anything except for marriage under Bill Clinton.
Yeah, I heard about gay rights. That was about it. I don't even think they were using the LG term, because I remember back when it was just LG, and I don't even know if they were using that in the 90s.
Yeah, it was just gay marriage. That's it. That's all we heard ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it. There was no LGBTQ. No, there wasn't. And it was LGBT. It wasn't LGBTQ. The Q came later.
Yeah. It was after the Q. That's when they started going out of control and adding a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The LGBT happened very late 90s, early 2000s. That's definitely the millennial bracket, not the Gen X.
What the hell's a BGT?
What? Lesbian, gay, bi, trans, queer.
Oh, okay. What's the difference between gay and queer?
I have no idea. You're asking the wrong person. All I'm saying is that that was not Gen X. They're fudging stuff up here. And if it is Gen X, then history is fudged up, and I'm calling Mandela. Because no way was that in the forefront. Absolutely not. Not when I was growing up. Nope. All right, let's continue.
Beyond
Oh, let's wait,
TV,
pause.
Today, Generation X.
That's a sink. Noise Guru, that's exactly what I was supposed to have for dinner tonight. I have the bacon in the fridge waiting for me to make my own sandwich because I wasn't hungry yet. That's just weird that you put bacon, lettuce, tomato.
I wish. I'd like that.
Out of
now.
nowhere.
It's already cooked.
Yeah, the bacon's ready for me to go. All I got to do is heat up the bacon and make my sandwich.
Okay.
What do you mean? It's all ready to go, but you got to heat it up? What?
Yeah, Joey made the bacon. I wasn't ready to eat my sandwich. So the bacon's wrapped in paper towel and saran wrap in the fridge. So I can heat it up and just make a BLT
Oh.
when I feel like eating.
Okay. Well, you don't have to heat it up either, though. You could just.
I
throw
don't
it in.
have to eat it up. I could just use cold bacon. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's what's confusing.
Well, because I like it heated up because the cold bacon's the cold grease. I would prefer it heated up just a little bit, so I can dab off some
You're hungry
grease.
for a BLT now.
Sorry.
I want one. Nah.
All right, let's continue.
X is the most associated with not what they did, but with what they watched and listened to. This is the era that MTV came on the air, and the beginnings of the grunge movement stepped into the stage. It also
That was
saw a
the
disturbing
90s.
rise in kidnappings and the rise of the satanic panic, as fear shifted to the home front, and parents became more protective of their kids, spelling an end to the age of free-range childhood and the beginning of helicopter parenting. Much like the silent generation, this generation is often seen as overshadowed by the one sandwich.
No. Gen X was not the beginning of helicopter parenting. We were the latchkey kids. There was no helicopter parenting in Gen X.
Latchkey?
Yeah, like we were left home to watch I was watching my little sister when I was 8 and she was 6. Kids who didn't have a parent at home came home from school on the bus with a key around their neck and let themselves in.
Right. Yeah. Because both parents were working.
There was no helicopter parenting. That was definitely in the 80s. Like I would even say the early 90s is when helicopter parents became a thing. That's well into the millennials. Well,
not in my generation.
Maybe it was helicopter parenting if the parents were gone in the helicopter and the kid was just on the landing pad.
Yeah.
wait, what?
That's a bad joke. I just said maybe it's helicopter parenting if you mean that the parents are gone somewhere in the helicopter and the kid's by himself on the helicopter landing pad.
Oh, okay.
Never mind. That came out wrong. Never mind.
I got you. All right. All right, let's
And it
continue.
has never had a president, even as its older members approach 60. Now it's time to shift to the kids. Wait, they're how old now? Millennials, 1981 to 1996.
All right, pause.
Coming of age as the Cold War.
Oh, here we are.
81 to 96 for millennials. See what I mean? It was the 90s when the helicopter parents really started.
Mhm.
Like late 80s, early 90s. Like not in, it was definitely the millennial generation where the helicopter parents were a thing. And that's when, in the 90s is when the laws, like I think it was Colorado or California, it was one of them, put a law out there that, they have laws on when kids can stay home by themselves. Helicopter parenting.
Wait, they do?
They do. Hold
What
on.
are the laws? Like,
Hold on. I'm going to look it up. Give me 1 second.
I was always left alone at home.
My internet is frozen.
that sounds like something that they shouldn't be worrying about.
At what age is a kid allowed to stay home alone in each state? Okay, here we go. You guys ready? Illinois, 14 years old. That's insane. 14. Colorado, Connecticut, Mississippi, 12.
What?
Kentucky, 11. Delaware, Oregon, Washington, 10. Georgia, 9.
What's
Maryland and Maryland and North Carolina, 8. Nebraska and Oklahoma, 7. Kansas, 6.
What?
That is the age that a child can be left alone legally.
Oh.
The other states,
Okay.
including Pennsylvania, because of course we're a Commonwealth, do not have a specific law. In these states, it is not automatically illegal to leave a child unattended, but it is illegal to neglect or endanger them. If a child is left alone and something goes wrong, parents can face child endangerment or neglect charges. Generally, worldwide, it is suggested that a child be 12 or 13 to stay home alone. But like I said,
yeah, they're probably right, but yeah, it's
like I said, I used to watch my sister when I was 10 and 8. She was 6. So I was watching her at 8.
I knew kids growing up that sometimes, like, I knew this one kid that his dad wasn't around and it was just his mom, and his mom would be gone all day. She may have had 2 jobs, and she wouldn't even get home till like 7 or 8 at night. And I remember this 2 brothers, man, they were just like you could tell like they had no parenting. They were like bad news kids. Like they were just into so much trouble. Like even my parents told me to stay away from them. I don't know. It's like it can get extreme where like they just literally have nobody like watching over them. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I would watch my sister for a couple hours. My mom went to the grocery store, things like that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like there was no one present. But yeah, unfortunately, some kids, that's the only option. Now they make you pay for childcare. But back then, it was, I can't afford childcare. My kid's going to go home and I'll be there when I get there.
Yeah.
That's what it was for Gen X. That's why the helicopter parenting threw me for a loop when they said that, because that's insane.
Yeah. But we raised ourselves.
Yeah.
Sounds like a scam just to get you locked into some kind of money trap where you just have to keep paying money, because you know a lot of people can't afford that. That's why latchkey parenting was probably a thing, because you couldn't afford to
be honest, nobody can afford that.
Hey, Southern Sierra. It was 1985 when I saw the first parent attach a dog leash to their kid at the mall. Yeah, I would consider that helicopter parenting.
Yeah.
But that's also millennial, 85. All right, let's continue.
Or breathed its last and a new era began, the millennials are associated with one thing more than any other: technology. This generation experienced a lot of whiplash in their early years, growing up in the era of Toys R Us and wall phones as kids, seeing the internet born as they grew up, and entering a new digital landscape as they hit high school or college. For the millennials, especially those who saw the calendar roll over to 2000 as they approached adulthood, the world seemed full of promise and excitement. Surely it was all uphill from here. But just like the greatest generation, history had its way of throwing a spanner in the works. As soon as the new millennium rolled over, chaos seemed to ensue. A near-tied presidential election with a controversial resolution led many millennials to become dissatisfied with politics. The 9/11 attacks in New York and Washington kicked off a global war on terror. And while there was no draft like in previous generations, it cast...
Was that? Did you vote in that election, Astro?
Which
you were
one?
18.
The first George Bush, or the first George W. Bush. No, I actually never voted up until 2016. I think was the first year I actually voted.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well then.
That's how interested I was in politics until about, I think around like 2013-ish, 14-ish was when I kind of started paying more attention to it. But yeah, before that, like I was like, I could care less. I was like a totally different person before. Like I could totally not care about any of that stuff before that.
The reason why I'm asking is because you and just 2 years, actually 1 year above you, were the only ones that were able to vote in that election. So it's funny that they're mentioning that election, because the only millennials that there were those born in 82 and 81. So that's why it's funny that they're mentioning it. That's all.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah. All right, let's continue.
The pall over young adulthood for many. Then the 2008 financial crisis upended many millennials' career plans. This has set them back in many ways, with many living at home with their parents long after previous generations and struggling to find long-term employment. This has also led to this generation becoming highly liberal, with many of the generation's young politicians being iconoclasts, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. But while millennials are often used as shorthand for young people, here's a scary statistic. The older millennials are now over 40, which means some of them are already grandparents, which means it's time for someone else to say, okay,
Over 40? Yeah, I guess you can be a grandparent. Yeah.
All right, before we go any further, Woo and Mrs. Woo are here, and they have donuts in the chat. So it's allowing me to show a new donut. We have a kitty cat and a raft for the summer, guys. And a donut raft.
Cool.
That's for Woo with the donuts in the chat.
Yeah.
But also, guys, I'm going to ask you to do something different tonight. If you see it, first, do me a favor. Make sure you hit like on the stream. I would very much appreciate it. So that way YouTube shows it to more people. Because right now we are only pulling numbers of 17.
Oh,
So please hit like on the stream. Subscribe if you are not subscribed to my second channel. That's where you are right now. Please make sure you have subscribed. And also ring the bell so you're notified when we go live. Donuts are very much appreciated. They are very much needed, but they are never ever required. If you would like to donut and help out with the rent situation, links are in the description below. Also, if you see it, hype up this video. I would very much appreciate that because that also tells YouTube to share it to other people. And here is a dance and splatter donut for you all.
I don't understand how you can hype stuff up. I got to do it. I was telling Sandy earlier, I got to do it once. And then I don't know what to do it again. It doesn't give me the option. Maybe I have to wait till this turns to a video. Then I have to hype. I think you can only hype videos. I don't know if you can hype it while it's on live stream.
No, I think you have to do it when it's over. Hey, Morgan.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I think it has to be a video, or it has to turn to a video before you can hype it. Okay, I didn't think about that. Yeah, I'll try it after this goes to video. I'll try that.
No, or try yesterday's.
yeah, that's what I was going to
On the
do.
other
I can
channel.
Go back and see if I can go back and yeah.
Plus, you can only hype 3 videos a week.
Oh,
They limit how many you can hype.
Oh, that's how it's done. Okay, yeah, so I should be able to hype.
All right, let's continue.
Oh, yeah.
Millennial, Generation Z, 1997 to 2010. If millennials got a crash course in technology as they grew up, Gen Z are digital natives, with almost all of them growing up with the internet being a part of everyday life. They likely got cell phones at a relatively young age, and those quickly changed to smartphones, essentially giving them a computer in their pocket all the time. When the boomers talk about kids these days will never understand, they mean this generation. The majority of Gen Z has never likely worked on a typewriter, used whiteout, or scanned a newspaper for movie listings, to which they would answer, why would we need to? But if you think that means that they've checked out of reality, think again. One thing has been clear about this generation as they get older, and it's that they are highly engaged in politics and social issues, with the internet being key in increasing their awareness. They've played a key role in the anti-war, gun control, and anti-climate change movements, but often prefer confrontational protest movements to voting and organizing in the traditional way. This has caused no shortage of headaches for older generations, but progress usually only goes one way, and it's still uncertain how they're going to impact politics around the world as they get older. Which raises the question, what is the next generation going to look like? Gen Alpha, 2011 to...
Pause. And this is the generation that we're mostly going to be talking about tonight, but also a little of Gen Z. Gen Z too. So, because I know I have a couple Gen Zers here.
So
yeah.
When is this one going to end? In 2027 or 28 maybe?
No, it should also already be done, shouldn't it? They're usually about 15 years. So probably 20 to 26 is probably the last year.
Oh, yeah. So this, yeah. So, okay. I see.
And the next one will be Gen Beta. And then they'll change the name of Gen Alpha. Although they haven't changed the name of Gen Z. Well, they did. They tried calling it Zoomers, but people still call it Gen Z. So
Yeah, they try to change stuff, but once something already sticks, it's hard to, like, people still call X Twitter. Like, there's lots of people that still call it Twitter. Like, I think, you know, some people just won't change what they do.
I mean, Gen X has always been Gen X. They never changed it.
I think it's because
We're still Gen X.
Cool. It just sounds cool. So
Yeah, but Gen Y became millennial.
it's because Gen Y doesn't roll off the tongue. It takes too much effort to say it. It's just easier to say millennium.
I think it's because people were offended and said Gen WHY. You see what I'm saying? Like Gen Y.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, we got to change it. So, yeah, see? That's what Noise Guru wrote. WHY.
oh, funny.
Or Generation Boo Boo.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about, Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob says Gen Idiocracy. Stick a fork in them. They're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they're getting there.
but Gen Beta is around the corner. So,
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go get my I'm gonna go get my lawyer's. What do they call that? When you pass the bar, your lawyer's license, I guess.
you pass the bar and you become a lawyer. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do that at Costco.
Oh, really? Nice.
I'm hoping Gen Beta becomes like the hope generation, because they give us hope because they figured out the problem with Gen Alpha and reversed course. That's what I'm hoping. The hope generation. That would be nice. All right. We're about to move on to the issues. So let's hear about Gen Alpha.
Judge a generation that's just barely started. Well, if you ask most older people, they have no problem. Much like Gen Z were digital natives, Gen Alpha are smartphone natives, which means they've never known a world without the constant stream of information at their fingertips. This has led to worries from teachers about them having trouble with reading and attention span, as they're just so used to getting their information from short-form video, like TikTok.
I don't like how they worded
just
that.
as AI becomes a massive concern.
This has led to worries from teachers. No, that this has led to teachers speaking out that the kids can't read. Not that they're worried the kids can't read. They know the kids can't read.
Yeah, we're way past the worry phase.
Yeah. All right, let's continue.
And I also don't like. I don't know. There's.
Yes.
I don't think these kids are appropriately just portrayed. I don't know. That's not what kids look like anymore.
Yeah, I know.
They don't come to school nicely dressed with their hair done. I don't know.
Yep.
But like with every generation, there's another side to that. Even more so than Gen Z, Gen Alpha is highly engaged in activism and passionate about justice. They're also the most tech-savvy generation ever, not just playing it, but creating it. More than half of American kids under 16 are members of Roblox, a site that allows them to code games. But they're growing up in a world that's more unsettled than it has been since the Cold War. And many older people are worried about these kids getting radicalized in both directions. And as they enter high school and college, we'll see how they start influencing the world. Which is to say, we should expect some more dinner table arguments. Want to learn more about one of the biggest Gen Alpha ups?
All right, so the oldest Gen Alpha right now is what, 15? They're in high school right now. So, all right, guys, pause. Now we're going to see the problems that I need you to see. And there's no question in my mind. It's one cause only. It is the technology and the technology alone. And as you saw on my thumbnail, in schools, and when it comes to schoolwork and homework, I believe all technology should be banned. I'm talking about going back to the library, going back to encyclopedias. They need to do this stuff.
That'll never happen.
I know it'll never happen.
Is that picture in a store?
No.
I don't know. I think so.
Maybe.
I don't know. I can't stand it when parents let their kids walk around with full-size potato chip bags. And I don't know why I see that a lot. It just annoys me for some reason.
Okay, can you do me a favor? Her name, what's her name? The artist, the creator?
Yeah. Misha Petrov.
Misha
PET.
Petrov.
Yeah.
I got it.
Oh.
Sounds Russian.
All right. We can go. We can play.
She put an iPad so that the child will follow her like a dog.
Why do you need two screens?
The entitlement and genuine stupidity.
I don't know. I can't read.
Why are they so rude?
Extraordinary.
My students can't read.
So last week I had lunch with a few family friends, and one of them brought her daughter, who's about 10 years old, and she starts talking to me about theorians. And I just started to wonder, how does a 10-year-old girl know about these internet subcultures, but not her times tables? Because her mother was complaining about her struggling in school. How does she know 6, 7, but can't point to where she is on the map? Something is deeply wrong. Now, even if you don't have kids, or you don't particularly like kids or want kids, I get it. Trust me. I was wondering myself, why should I care about this? Why should you care about this if you're in the same boat? And I think we should all care about this, because it's not just Gen Alpha that might be doomed. This is affecting Gen Z. This is affecting millennials. This is affecting everybody, actually, because it is reshaping society. However, Gen Alpha is getting hit the hardest right now, and these are going to become our future doctors, lawyers, pilots, engineers, surgeons.
The Gen Z that it's affecting are the youngest of the Gen Z. The older Gen Z, they still learned on, with pen and paper and stuff like that. It wasn't until 2020 when the everything digital happened, really. Like, my stepson had an iPad that they did schoolwork on, probably 2018, but they were still like doing papers. He had to use a computer and print it out. And they were still doing tests on paper and things like that. The all digital didn't happen until the pandemic. So the older Gen Zs kind of got away. They had it better than the younger ones. And of course, Gen Alpha. And we're going to see some redundancy because these videos we're looking at, you might see another, like a TikTok replayed. If that happens, we'll fast forward it. There's a part in here that I wanted to save for the end, but apparently she's going to show it too. I wanted to show the Gen Z after Gen Alpha, but she's going to show some Gen Z too. But whatever. All right, let's continue.
And politicians. We're all going to age in a world run by this generation, a generation that cannot read, cannot write, cannot focus on something unless Family Guy or Coco Melon is playing on a split screen. Hopefully I can keep your attention for the rest of the video. So this is not just a school issue, this is a broader societal issue, and eventually the consequences will leave the classroom and enter everybody's lives, so we should all care. This video went viral recently. It's this toddler who is following the mother because she put an iPad, like a purse, it's just hanging from her shoulder so that the child will follow her like a dog. More iPad kids. Can we just normalize kids and iPads in restaurants? Parents need downtime too. Time to connect. Have adult conversations. Sometimes parents don't have the support, so taking the kids is the only option for them. Let's not judge. I wonder what parents used to do before iPads if they wanted time to connect and have the...
You know what's crazy is that when they start doing that from that young, it's like bad because their brain is literally being like permanently wired differently. You know what
Yes.
I mean?
Yes.
Just,
It absolutely is. You're absolutely correct. It's not good.
And I think we're probably going to see... Man, I can't even imagine what this generation is going to be like.
It's bad. It's so bad. Wait, when we get to the teachers, you'll see how bad it is.
It's abuse.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Kids be distracted for a bit. I remember when I was about this age, right? I was an only child till about 7. So I would usually bring my friends to the restaurant with my family when we would all hang out together. And I just remember them talking and us talking separately, right? Like they would have their adult conversations, whatever. And we would speak with each other, my friend and I. Perhaps some of you can relate, but we found ways to keep ourselves entertained without an iPad. And if now the situation is that kids cannot do that, that is a problem. Now they need their little, kiddie headphones or whatever, and they have to be completely immersed in Coco Melon or else mommy and daddy can't have a conversation. POV, your 2-year-old Gen Alpha's iPad dies. 2 years old. Also, look at the state of this iPad. It's seeing better days.
Yeah.
But she won't even give the iPad to the parent. Like, she needs to protect it. And look at the kids behind her. Also looking at a device.
Oh, my.
Because I can't watch YouTube on this one.
Why do you?
And this isn't even in school. This is at home.
Yeah.
I don't. I just like watching.
She's got the phone and the tablet.
Yeah.
All right, wait, pause.
It's
Sorry.
probably a TV too.
I should say, to be fair, I am currently using my phone and my tablet at the same time, but it's for a productive reason.
Yeah, it's for a good reason.
Yeah, I'm not.
And you're over 12 years old. Yeah.
Yes, my brain is fully developed. Yes. But again, mine's for a productive reason. I need my phone to write the chat list while running the show on the iPad.
Right.
Otherwise, the phone would be the least of my concern if I didn't have to write down the chat list. It's just, and honestly, that girl with the tablet and the phone, she probably has a TV on in front of her too.
Yes, I said. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just constant flow. It's just like, oh man, it's like they never. Like, I wonder what those kids would do if their parents took them camping for 5 straight days and took away all their devices and made them be in just nature for 5 days. I wonder what they would do.
I saw one of those.
Oh, really?
They were on a cruise. I don't know if it's in any of these videos, but they were on a cruise, and the father was consoling her like, "It's going to be okay. You can do this." Like,
Isn't there still internet and the TVs in on the cruise?
no, on the cruise, the TVs, they kind of suck. It's mainly like there so that you can, get the announcements for the day from the captain. LVK says, I don't know how parents can stand all that screaming. It drives me up a wall just hearing a few seconds of it. How do they put up with it every day? You know what it is? For most parents, it's because it's their kids.
Yeah.
They will tell you that other kids screaming drive them crazy, but they can handle their kids screaming.
Yeah, exactly.
It's because it's their kids.
Yeah, it's weird that way.
Yep.
You
All
really
right.
can't put up with it. You tolerate it more. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
Because you have to.
okay.
Homework.
I can help you if you don't understand.
Social media is better at it.
I'm pretty good at it.
Because you use social media, think.
Yeah, that's not all kids
No, this
scream
is
like
straight up
that
addiction.
either.
He's
right?
on.
Well,
What are you saying, Splatter?
I said not all kids scream like that either, right? It's just
Yeah,
it
not all of
it all
them.
depends
But
on how you raise
nowadays,
them.
but more of them do nowadays.
If
Like
you
when I was
really-
a kid, like barely any of the kids that I knew. I mean, there was a few that would like freak out on their parents, like but like for the most part, like I mean, yeah, they would get kind of
well,
mad,
yeah.
maybe like storm into their room, but it wouldn't be like just like complete
Exactly.
freakouts.
Proper parenting has gone the way of the dodo. People don't know how to properly raise children anymore. Now they stick them in front of a screen, and that's the babysitter.
Well, I'm hoping that there'll be a movement where like it'll become popular to like take social media away from your kids for extended periods of time, and like
Yeah.
kind of go back to proper parenting, because that's usually how these things go, because we're in the phase right now where everybody's starting to see what's happening. So hopefully there'll be enough like and it won't happen everywhere, but hopefully there'll be enough of like a movement where it'll be like cool to be a good parent again. And who knows how long that'll last, but maybe it'll do some good for a little while.
Yeah. Let's hope. We got to pray for that.
Yeah.
Some kind of scooter thing and with an iPad. I'm just saying, I know it can get annoying to be like, back in my day, but really, when I was a kid.
Oh, and just really quick, these are also the same kids that are probably going to grow up. Well, if we don't have self-driving cars by then, those are the same kids that are going to grow up and probably try to watch their iPads while they're driving too.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah, I don't want to be on the road when these kids start getting on the road. I
That
think
is
about that
absolutely
now.
terrifying.
I think about that now. There's bad enough with some
Well, it's
people.
already happening. There's so many people out there do that same shit.
I literally see people driving down the freeway buried in their cell phone, like just barely kind of just looking up every couple seconds. And it's like, usually it used to be you were looking at the road and you look down at your phone every couple seconds. Now it's the other way around. It's ridiculous. I literally
It's
saw
scary.
a guy when I was delivering. I literally saw a guy, and he was older too. I don't know what his excuse was. He was like almost 40. He was like leaned back in his car, like with some kind of weird like gangster lean, and he was just kind of like watching something on his phone. And he was just kind of, he was supposed to be stopped at the stop sign. And I remember I stopped my delivery truck, and because I kind of noticed him, and he was just kind of just drifting into the middle of the intersection. And luckily we were the only two there. And he's just watching his movie, and he's not even paying attention that there's just like a giant like delivery truck like right in front of him that could have potentially ran into him if I wasn't paying attention. And he looks up at me, and he just kind of laughs like
Whoa.
like with this like kind of like dopey like, oh man, sorry, but like kind of like a, oh oops kind of like look, and then he kind of like corrects himself and then just drives off. And it's like, wow, man, like really. And that's an older guy. That guy was more like closer to 40, like maybe mid 30s or something.
Well, he's the original beachhead stoner. Hey, dude.
Yeah, that's what he looked like. Yeah. There's a lot of hippies around here.
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that.
No, it's okay. That's what I want you guys to do. Talk. All right.
That
Right.
spinny chair thing, that would have been enough to keep me occupied for hours. I wouldn't need an iPad in addition to that. I bet these kids could be on a roller coaster and they would still need their iPad. Our generation, we grew up using the internet as a tool.
Oh, look at the
more or
cat.
less. Like we accidentally.
You just
That
noticed him?
cat's it's a very active cat.
I've been watching the cat for a while now.
Yes. I've been watching the chat.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He looks like he's getting like antsy, like he wants her to finish up the video so he can eat or something.
Well, he just left and came back again.
Oh, the cat did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, I thought, yeah, well, she keeps cutting too, so it probably won't. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Taught ourselves skills while wasting time as well, right? So lots of people, they were like editing videos, those AMVs, they ran fan pages, wrote fan fiction, built online communities, whatever. It was some kind of effort involved. Even when it was cringe, it required participation and creativity. It is far more passive now, right? Less people are creating and more people are consuming, more kids are consuming, and every second of their boredom has to be filled instantly with YouTube Shorts, with TikTok, this constant dopamine hit after dopamine hit. That is a huge problem because then there's barely any silence left, right? For a child's mind to imagine, to struggle through a thought, right? To actually think things through. And that's important because that struggle is where cognitive development actually happens.
Yeah, they can't think. That's the actual problem.
Yeah.
There's no thought. There's no thought, there's no imagination, there's no creativity. It's just an empty mind of nothing. There's no it's basic primal want. It's like, I want this, I want that, and I want it now because that's what I expect to get.
Yeah, and then the older they get, some of them might even start. Well, I mean, we've seen it with other generations. They might just get violent if they don't get what they want too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, it's just scary. I don't know. It's just bad. Like,
it's getting worse and worse. Yeah, definitely.
And I think this is like a plan too. Like, I think the powers that be or whatever, I think this is exactly what they wanted to. I think they want the whole next few generations to be exactly like this.
Which is ridiculous because these generations will be in charge at some point. And when they're in charge, we are screwed.
Yeah. And who knows what subliminal messages are coming through the TV that they're picking up on.
By then, I'll be going probably into my older years. I don't know if I'll be around for that. I mean, I don't know if I'll want to be around.
They don't want to be around for that. Yeah.
I know. It's got to be somewhere to go. I mean, there might have to be a pocket somewhere on Earth. It can't be like that everywhere. But maybe it will.
Old age home or something where they take care of me. Well, I'm already getting there, right? So I'm in my 60s.
Yeah, well, when they're in charge, you'll be in your 80s or 90s, Splatter.
That's what I mean. I'll be in a care home facility by then.
Yeah.
So I'll probably be in my 60s.
Or dead. I'll give myself credit for living a long time. I could be dead too. Who knows by then?
You might want to be when they're in charge.
No doubt.
No, they're going to help you.
No, that's when we'll officially be idiocracy by that point.
Yeah.
Oh, we'd have to be by then. Oh, yeah.
What'd you say, Jose?
Yeah, this is a hard subject for me because, I had my kids and I could not get through them. And I just got divorced and I just walked away. So, yeah, this is a hard subject for me. That's why I haven't said anything because, I was a bad parent. So.
Yeah, but your kids are older though. They didn't have iPads in front of them like that when they were little, right?
Oh yeah, we used to have a movie night.
But that's different.
That's different.
No, Nintendo is different. You want to know why? A Nintendo is attached to the TV. It doesn't go with them to the store and the groceries. You know what I'm saying? They still had a break from it. When they went to the grocery store with you, they were present. When they went to a restaurant, they were present in that restaurant. They weren't on the Nintendo because it didn't go with them. See what I'm saying?
The Nintendo is kind of good for learning too. Even that, it's better than just staring at a screen. You're actually doing something.
Hey, Sandy, I just thought about it. Do you think that, like, the Game Boy, when that came out, do you think
I was thinking
like,
about that?
Yeah.
No, I had a Game Boy. We weren't allowed to bring that to the dinner table.
But I think about it, that's like the earliest thing I can remember. That was the closest thing to like a device that kids would carry around and just play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like I was a waitress when the DS was big, and I don't remember DSs at the table. You know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't a thing.
Yeah, that is weird. Yeah, you would think that kids. I mean, I would see kids with them, but they wouldn't be. I mean, sometimes
not
kids.
Every kid.
Yeah. But yeah, the parents would be more like you know, sometimes I would see the parents take it away. And, you know, there was still some good parenting going on back then. So.
Like most, I would say 90% of kids even have a screen in the car. Like they have the iPads attached to the back of the seat. It's not an iPad, it's usually something cheaper, but attached to the back of the seat in their face. Constantly going. So even when they leave the house, in the car they have something.
Yeah. Which is good for parents when you're traveling, though, because the kids in the back seat are always arguing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was on a lot of road trips when I was a kid, and I had my tape player with my headphones, and hopefully I had 2 sets of batteries to last me. And then I had like a couple of magazines that I brought with me, and I didn't have a Game Boy or anything like that. So yeah, that was pretty much.
The only child or what?
No, I had my sister was like 2 years younger than me, so we were pretty much like more or less the same age. But she always just sat like kind of quietly. I mean, we were like,
yeah, well, sister, that's different. Brother and sister always seem to get along better than brother and brother.
Yeah, I mean, we still argued and fought sometimes, but yeah, it wasn't like out of control. Like my parents were never like, you guys gotta stop fighting. You know, it was never like that. I mean, maybe like little pockets here and there, we'd start getting on each other's nerves.
Oh man, I'm lucky to be alive, and so is my brothers. Well, they aren't anymore, but you know, they're lucky to last. Because we were just literally trying to kill each other.
Right. Also, I want to point out there's a big difference between a Game Boy or a DS and social media that makes your attention span the size of a gnat. There's a big difference there. It's addictive. That's the problem. TikTok is the problem. It's social media that's the problem.
Yeah. There wasn't that stuff when I was growing up. None of it. So yeah, we grew up in silent mode.
Because the video games you would just play from beginning to end, and then it was over and you were done. But the social media nonsense just goes on and on. It just loops forever. Never ends. There's never any like payoff. There's never any like. It's just you just scroll.
It's doom scroll.
Just you keep going. It's never like. It's almost like you're chasing something. Like it's almost like you're. It's weird. It's almost like you're like chasing a high. It's weird.
Yeah.
That's what I said. It's addictive.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I guarantee if you were allowed to bring that Game Boy or DS to the table, when the food arrived, you had to put it down and eat.
Yeah.
These kids are taking bites in between scrolling.
Oh, no way.
And you know what sucks is when they become parents, their kids are going to do it even worse, and they're not even going to care either. They're probably going to be sitting there on their devices, and then like when that
they're
happens,
going to be wearing something on their head, so you don't even see what they're looking at.
Yeah. Unless they smarten up and realize, oh, I don't want to do what happened to me when I grew up. You know, I'm going to change my way of parenting. You know.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that everybody will turn out like that, but the way they're pushing it, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I can see a movement about to happen, though. I mean, hopefully it gets started soon. But
well, I'm hoping what's happening in the schools will wake these parents up, and we're going to get to that. I'm sure Misha's going to talk about it. All right, let's continue.
Can you please just plug it in? Just plug it in.
I will plug it in later. There is no need for it right now. You don't need it.
I can't plug it later if you don't plug it in now. You'll never understand.
I'm sorry, this has to be the result of gentle parenting. How are parents allowing this? So
Gentle
disrespectful to me.
parenting.
This noise, the kids yelling, screaming, crying, it's like nails on a chalkboard. Maybe it's just me. I don't know, but I can't stand it. So to be in the situation and to allow your kid to talk to you this way, forget about the iPad. No iPad ever again.
I'm genuinely terrified for this next generation of children.
yeah, no, my parents would flip. Yeah, I wouldn't get.
I'd be like,
I wouldn't get it back.
Okay, well, yeah, exactly.
My dad would sell it. My dad would take it to the pawn shop or wherever wherever and just get rid of it.
Automatically. That's
happened to me before too.
Gone. Yeah, you get you act like that, you're nothing. Sorry. Well, no sorry. Go to your
But I'll
room.
tell you what though, after the first time it happened, it never happened again.
Yeah, you might get the one warning tape thing where you might be able to get it back, but then after that, never. Not in our generation. No way.
Yeah,
but I learned. Oh, what's that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, what'd you say? Go ahead. I wasn't going to say anything.
Okay, I was just saying that I'm the oldest of all my family, of all the kids, so I was pretty spoiled. But
oh, you're lucky. I was the bottom. I was the last.
Yeah.
I am
I will get everything.
confused.
But I would never dare to yell at my mom or that. I did once, but when my dad came home, he just got the belt and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
went, you know,
That
ran me
sounds
around the,
familiar. Yep.
yeah, just grabbed me and turned me around like a donut. Boom, boom, boom. And that was the last time that was enough for me.
Yeah. Wait till your
So,
father gets home and you trembled the whole time waiting for your dad to get home. Oh no.
yeah, or shoes flying. Yeah, my mom didn't mess around. Like you'll have a bruise in your body because of her shoes were flying straight at you.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, my brother, whether I'm being the youngest is good because I got to learn from the shit my brothers did. I seen shoes go flying across the room and hit my brother in the head. You know, my parents like were harsh that way.
Oh yeah.
Or my mother, anyway. Yeah, she'd be throwing her shoes at stuff.
Okay, so it claims that this stream is, hey, Analog Line. It claims that this stream already has 41 views. There's 21 likes, but supposedly there's only 17 watching. So explain that. I have no idea. How's it 41 views? Weird. Okay.
Yeah.
We're about to see something. Yeah, but going back to that tablet, she's like, no, you have to plug it in. Screaming at her mom like that. If I had done that, first of all, yes, I would have been hit. I would have gotten a nice little smack on the ass. And I completely agree with the gentle parenting part. Like when they made a gentle tap on the ass illegal, it just ruined society.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gentle, man. I used to get full out belt. Whack, whack.
Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't they make it too easy for the what do they call that agency? The
Child Protective Services.
yeah, didn't they make it too easy for them to take your kids away over just basic disciplining, basically?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't trust that agency, by the way. I have a friend who has kids that, like, people at his church, like, I don't know, he's kind of weird. Like, he was kind of living in a messy house, but he had people at his church, like, threatening to call those people on him.
Yeah.
CPA, that's what they're called. Yeah, it was just, I don't know. I don't trust those people. I've heard a lot of things about those people, and I don't know. I don't.
Well, there were times when I was growing up, like I thought I could have, if I would have had a chance, I would have phoned on my parents. Like, but
I think they might have a lot to do with a lot of these kids that go missing too. I don't know. I think they're a worse organization than people think.
I don't know, but yeah, there wasn't those things around when I was growing up. Otherwise, I would have been phoning them.
But I mean, this mother should be like, for every second you continue crying, I'm going to add an hour that you can't have this iPad.
Yeah.
Or a day.
Yeah, exactly. Some sort of discipline. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, my parents wouldn't even do that. My parents would just take it away, and I'd be like, "When can I get it back?" And they'd just be like, "Don't worry about it. Go to your room." That's all it would be.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Go to your room.
When we feel like it, yeah.
And they'll probably add on, "You'll be lucky if you get it back at all." That's always what they would say too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would usually get it back, but they would just say that as a way to like just make me shut up, basically.
Dr. Bob says, if I called CPS on my mom, she put me in the hospital. That's ironic with CPS being called.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah. That's not going to work out too well.
No, but it's great.
But did you see that lady making this video while she's listening to the video with the kids screaming and everything? It doesn't look like she's having fun making this video. Her eyes just roll back, and it's like, oh my God, what am I watching?
Yeah, she said she can't handle the screaming.
Which one?
Yeah.
Misha.
The one in the car or the one on the mic?
On the mic.
Yeah, Misha's. Yeah, the girl on the video and the mic on the mic.
Oh yeah,
the one making the video.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue because we have a lot to get through.
Yeah, because I don't even know the kids screaming in the background. Was there?
We have a lot to get through, guys, and I have a short show. We have to go.
I decided to work at a summer camp this year, and I didn't understand the severity of the brain rot. Holy shit. Not only is their lingo actually terrifying, but the entitlement and genuine stupidity, and I'm sorry to call kids stupid, but like, we are not smart anymore at all.
Entitled, bratty, and I'm sorry, but who can we blame if not the parents, right? You're gonna blame the device. Who gave the kid the device?
Is so scary. I had kids not knowing that there were 7 continents at the age of 12. Half the kids cannot spell without asking for how to spell it or just sounding it out, which is baffling to me. The genuine entitlement that kids nowadays have. I had a 10-year-old boy break down, like throw a literal hissy fit for 30 minutes over one rule changing in walkie-talkie tag, being that there can be more than one person guarding the jail. It's never
Pause.
been like that. You're trying to make us
Okay, that might be autism.
Yeah.
That might be undiagnosed autism. That's very common with autistic kids they need, if there's like a set rule list or the way that, like, you can't change anything. If you change it, they will have a meltdown. So that might be undiagnosed autism there. Hey, Granola Grin.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Because she's talking about not tech stuff. So I'm sorry. All right, continue.
Kind of like what we just heard with that iPad meltdown. I don't know, like, how is this possible? Are parents not punishing their kids anymore? Can't just be, oh, okay, we'll get you the iPad later. Let's just redirect your attention. If you scream like that at your parent, if you're so disrespectful at home, in class, And it explains a lot with Gen Z as well. If we also had this increase in gentle parenting, it makes a lot of sense when we look at the people who are incredibly entitled, incredibly narcissistic. There's also this literary crisis. Now we have the teenagers who can technically sound out words but can't actually explain what the sentence means. Teachers that are admitting that the students arrive several grades behind, and schools just lower expectations every year.
Okay, so there has now been actual studies shown that, you know, the brain rot of like the skibbity toilets and all that is actually affecting Gen Alpha's IQ. The Flynn effect basically states that every generation after the previous one, the average IQ will increase. However, comparing Gen Z to Gen Alpha, they're calling it the reverse Flynn effect. The average IQ of a Gen Alpha compared to Gen Z is anywhere from 40 to 60 points lower than Gen Z.
And a lot of that
That's a lot. Oh, God, pause. 40 to 60 points is a lot.
Yeah.
Like, that is bad. That is so bad. I can't even, that means the best they're going to do is a menial job. Like, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get for you today? Like, that's the best they're going to be able to do.
Yeah.
And we don't even know if they'll be able to complete that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And then
who knows if you're even going to get your food made the right way, or even if they're even going to get around to it, or, you know, I don't know. Like, I don't even know if I even would like trust those people. Like, who knows? Like, what if they just don't like you for some stupid reason and they do something to your food? You know, I don't know. That's when I might just start. I mean, I already don't eat out as much anymore, but I think I'm just going to, at that point, I'm just going to start making my own food at home only.
Hey, Sandy.
Yeah.
You're traumatizing Astro.
I am. I'm traumatizing everyone. But the point is, I want people traumatized because we have to, like, speak up about this. We really do. This can be reversed. It's just going to take parents to rip that technology out of their hands.
Oh, good luck. They love the easy parenting nowadays.
Well, you know what is also another thing that's a real possibility. Just real quick, is the sun's been acting crazy, and if we get like a really good solar flare, everything's going to go out. Hopefully. Well, not hopefully. That's actually going to be really bad. You know what I mean, though. That'll be the extreme thing that could happen, I guess.
Yeah,
bring on the doom and gloom. Yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, because we are supposed to get blackouts, so we might be without electricity for 3 days.
What
are the kids are gonna do? If it's a if scenario. I'm just saying.
Can you turn your mic up or something? You're so
yeah.
low.
That's what I was about to say. You're like, I don't know about with Sandy, but you're like really low. Like,
yeah, I gotta squint to hear him.
Okay.
Oh, what is that crackling?
I think he had to move his mic a little bit.
Let's hear you, Jose.
He's even quieter now.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. I'll turn him up.
Yeah, please.
This is Mike at the bottom of a potato chip bag.
Try now, Jose.
Hello, testing 1, 2,
That's
3.
that's better.
That's a little better.
Yeah.
Okay. I put a
No, it's just like I had to
foam
struggle to
cover.
hear you. I couldn't.
Yeah,
Sorry. Go.
I put a foam cover on the microphone because it was getting too much feedback. But first,
But it wrecked. We couldn't hear
Yeah,
you.
yeah, let me take it off. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Just move away from the fan or whatever you're worried about. If you can.
Yeah, that means that their IQ is anywhere between 30 and 60 points. And that's just insane. All right, let's continue.
Giving them the iPad, the YouTube, the TikTok, AI, doing all the thinking for the kid, kids will struggle, of course, and they're not going to develop focus or patience.
For some kids in Gen Alpha, reading feels impossible. Reading proficiency for U.S. fourth graders hit its record low last year, and implications for this are really vast. We could see that kids are growing up without the skills that they need to really contribute to the U.S. and global economy. A lot of kids have just become a lot more reliant on their iPads, on their cell phones. They're not really seeing the value in reading a book.
There are also teenagers who think school is irrelevant because they are being sold this fantasy that every single one of them are future entrepreneurs. They hear things like drop out because you're your own boss. Have you seen those memes where it's like a conveyor belt of students, like their brain is taken out or whatever? And the memes usually like when bro fails one test, that kind of thing, where everybody thinks school is useless, completely useless, drop out of high school. It'll be easy. You'll become your own boss. You'll get rich quick. They start viewing education in general as pointless, right? Like there are obviously issues with our education system, but to just drop out and you're magically going to become a millionaire, don't get me wrong, you should dream big, but you should also have a vision and a plan, and you should at least get your GED. Society still needs competent adults, and even running a successful business requires literacy and attention span. A lot of these kids started watching people like Andrew Tate, young boys especially, telling them that and then literally selling these courses and those schemes. But also, in addition, you have this content that replaced actual cartoons, right? Instead of good storytelling, character development, we get these crazy colors, something different every second, just to keep the kid entertained with this soulless animation. Even like wealthy tech executives know better than to give their kids that. They limit screen time for their children. They prioritize outdoor play, human interaction, because they know the dangers of the products, of the apps. If you look at older shows, they had more breathing room, right? They had slower pacing. They had pauses between dialogue. So there were moments where the child's brain could actually process what was being said instead of these crazy bright colors, constant movement. And then what happens?
And it's everything.
For the
Pause.
child to just sit still and listen to the
And everything's so close up in their face, like it's going to hurt their eyes too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing that really bothers me too, is like, because that was one thing that was really big with my parents and one of my best friends with his parents too. When I would go over to his house, when we'd be like, say, playing Nintendo or watching something by the TV, like either my parents or his parents would always say, "Guys, move back a little bit so you're not so close to the TV." And then it was always because, it was always about I know those were older, like 80s and 90s TVs that would have those, rays that would go into your eyes or whatever that were supposed to be bad, but
No, it was all a myth. It was all a myth.
Oh, so it wasn't bad?
No, did nothing to your eyes. But when it's constantly in your face like that, those big shapes in your face, it can make your eyes lazy to not focus farther away.
Yeah, I'm sure there was other reasons too why they didn't want. I think that was part of it. Like they just didn't want us. Like
something to do with the light, I would think too. You're staring.
Good night, LBK.
Yeah, I mean, even then, I don't even think it still wasn't technically good for your eyes to have the light going right into your face like that. I mean, it probably wasn't as bad as they said it was, but I don't know.
Yeah, but don't forget about the radiation. Forget about.
Oh
the
yeah,
eyes,
that's what I'm saying. I think it's
radiation.
worse. It's worse with the iPads and the phones, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
there was no radiation with the TV. There is with the iPads and the phones.
Yeah, they made it. Yeah, but at first they just warned us about something that wasn't there, and now they put it there.
Well, what about the smart TVs? Do they have radiation?
Yeah.
I would assume so.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Anything
the
that attaches
5G
to the internet
towers.
does, right?
Yep. Yeah.
teacher and do their homework. But now kids don't care about.
I'm sorry, what?
But think when you saw that kid she had the phone by her body, her privates. Just imagine how much radiation she's getting, and when she grows older, there's going to be radiation there, and cancer, or C word, I'm sorry, happened with the iPad. I mean, we don't know. This iPad
Well, wait.
radiation is new.
We
or
do
phone.
know we do know that the radiation is really only concerning when it's plugged in. Like they've shown like the radiation is like almost nothing, and then when they plug it in, it's off the charts. So as long as it's not plugged in, she should be okay. It's when they're plugged in that you really shouldn't be holding your device plugged in. Like mine are plugged in, but they're on the table. I'm not touching them. I'm keeping a distance from them, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Hard Earth. All right, let's continue because we didn't even get to the schools yet.
Stories. And that's really upsetting because those kinds of cartoons, even the more silly ones, right, even the stupid ones, some of them still taught things like empathy and patience. And again, they could see that character development. You'd have to follow characters from beginning to end. And now a huge amount of this children's content, when we look at the shorts, when we look at the AI generated videos, it is simply brain rot. Everything has to be fast, loud, random. It makes no sense. A lot of it, unfortunately, is also and sometimes parents aren't even monitoring what their child is watching until it's too late.
What time does this clock show? This clock shows.
All right,
what time
pause.
does this clock show?
This is Gen Z. They can't read a clock.
Wow.
All right.
Wait, that's a number clock, not a Roman numeral clock?
That's a number clock. It's 125. They can't read it.
I just assumed that they were looking at a Roman numeral. Oh my god, that's bad. That's really bad.
Yeah, and this is Gen Z.
They're so used to digital clocks, right? Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah, I remember when I was a young kid, and that was kind of an issue when I first started learning how to tell time. Like, but it didn't take that long, and then it was just like, I don't know, like, what are these teachers doing? Like,
It's not the teachers. It's the kids aren't paying attention.
I got an
That's
award.
true, too. Yeah,
I got an award back in school. I was the first person in my class to learn how to tell time.
Oh, I'm not saying they don't put off any, Wendy. I'm just saying the difference between unplugged and plugged is off the charts. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Hit play.
I don't know. I can't read Roman numerals like that. What time does this clock show?
Oh, it says 1:25. 1:25.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay, not to be a but why is this new generation of teenagers, Gen Alpha, I think, why are they so rude? They lack any social skills. The way that I see them interact with workers, like just ordering a coffee, oh my god, they have zero spatial awareness. Like they will just stand in a crowded doorway, not aware of everyone that's trying to get around them.
Have you ever seen the little girls ordering
Really?
at Starbucks? No, it does enrage me, unfortunately. Because sometimes I feel the urge to scream at them because they're so I hate people in general that are rude to those
I hate
service
when
workers
she does
for
that.
no reason.
yeah, I was about to say she could cut that out of her video. She really doesn't need that.
Yep.
That was weird.
Yeah.
But the entitlement? I want my pinkity drinkity now. Where's my pinkity drinkity? You didn't do this right. You didn't do that right. Who raised you? Or maybe mom or dad is the same way. I don't understand. Not just that. A while ago, I was walking with my friend on the street, right? And there were these girls who were filming a TikTok, and we passed them, right? And they looked at us like, and they started like scoffing and rolling their eyes at us and making noises. So we turned around, and they were like, "Oh my god, like we're trying to film." And I was like, "Excuse me, you're in the middle of the street. I don't care how old they are. You're gonna be rude. I'm gonna be rude back. What the is that?" We were filming a TikTok dance in the middle of the street.
I teach 7th grade. They are still performing on the 4th grade level. Keep moving, passing them on. They just keep passing them on, 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 passing them on. I can put as many zeros in this grade book as I want to. They're gonna move that child to that grade next year. 4th graders be nice. I still have kids performing on grade K, 1, 2.
What'd you say?
I can't hear that. He's talking so fast. I don't understand a word he's saying.
Yeah, I don't understand what he's saying either. It's fine. It's fine. There's so much they're going to be talking about. He's saying the kids can't read. That's what he's saying.
Yeah,
he's saying the kids can't read.
He's just saying that they keep passing them up the grades, and they just keep getting zeros on their test scores, and it just doesn't matter. They just keep moving up the grades.
Hey, LJ.
Man, he talks fast. Wow.
And 3rd grade level. So just imagine, you don't know that your child been on the 2nd grade level since the 2nd grade, and they now in the 7th or 8th grade.
Also, with the media they're consuming, that helps inform their
The 7th and 8th graders are reading on a 2nd grade level. Let that sink in. Okay. 7th and 8th graders are 12, 13 years old, reading on the level of a 7 or 8-year-old.
I'm sure some of them not even reading at all.
When I was 13 years old, I was reading The Hobbit. You know what I mean?
When I was 8, I read The Stand because I love Stephen King.
Cool.
Wow, that's like
It took all summer. It took all summer.
Yeah, I want to take a minute, send some prayers to Pushin because he's not feeling well, and hopefully he'll come back soon.
Yes. I didn't know if you wanted me to share it, but yeah, he's a little
I didn't
under
say
the
what was
weather.
wrong. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay. Just
he needs a night to rest.
You got some sort of common flu thing, you figure?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Just the first I've heard of it, so I don't know. But I just wish him well anyway, whatever it is.
Yeah,
sucks to
that's
be
all I
sick
want.
either.
Just
Yeah.
keep him in his prayer. Hopefully he'll
It
come back
sucks
soon.
being sick or hurt or sore or wounded or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Expectations for communication and for their emotional regulation. Because if a toddler spends countless hours consuming content that never slows down, real life will obviously start to feel unbearably slow. And then adults are going to be boring to them. Like hearing directions from someone, that's going to be like unbearable. Like they're just itching to go do something and to have more stimulation and dopamine. And not just that, their parents are probably setting an example because we're all addicted. So no doubt, mom and dad, they're addicted as well. Gen Alpha just happens to be the first generation raised inside this environment from birth. And if nothing changes, we are eventually going to live in a society where people can consume endless stimulation all day, but struggle to think critically or to communicate or to read or to think for themselves. It's just going to be
fast too.
Oh yeah, I agree. Everybody, I would say, no, she's using the word addiction wrong here, just like they do with medicines. Everyone is not addicted to their devices, but I would say a large majority of people are dependent on their devices now.
Yeah, that's the word.
They're dependent on it for directions, dependent on it to reach other people, dependent on it for entertainment, dependent on it for information. Like, why am I going to sit and do long, like, no, that's a bad example. Like, if I want a recipe, I'm going to look it up online.
Yeah.
Whereas
I
before I
remember my
crack
mom-
open a book.
Yeah, I remember my mom and grandma used to have cookbooks.
Yeah.
They still do. Well, my mom still does. Yeah.
And I'm sure there are people out there who still have some.
But they just sit
They're
there.
not a bad thing to have. I mean, if the power goes out or something goes out, and you still need to cook food, let's just assume you have gas.
Yeah, but assuming you have gas stove, yeah.
Or just any form of fire, something.
And I will say for adults, these devices can be very helpful. Like for someone like me who lives in bed, it's life-saving. Imagine, I have thought about it.
Oh yeah.
If I was living in the 80s right now with this condition, just confined to bed with nothing but the TV at the mercy of what they're putting on it.
Yeah, you'd go squirrely.
Oh my God, I go crazy.
Squirrely.
And I would be alone.
Yeah, you would have no way to do your show. And it's the 80s, so you probably wouldn't really be feeling the Mandela effect. So
Yeah,
it wouldn't even be that. It's just
yeah.
That's the way it was.
But
for the
no,
majority
but
of
more
people.
importantly, like I wouldn't have the friends that I have today.
That's the way it
That's
was for
true.
the majority of my life. Nothing. Just a TV.
So I'm not saying these devices are all bad. I'm saying they're bad for developing minds. They're bad for the educational setting. And they should be limited at home severely.
Technically, I don't even think a kid should even be like given a device to use until he's like maybe like in 5th or 6th grade, or at least
I agree
until junior.
completely.
Yeah, or like junior high at least. Like get their developmental years out of the way first.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I don't think that was part of the plan. So
No.
But
We try to.
people are getting People are getting mad at the game companies. Now they're suing them because they're putting kids in danger, and there's no safe from keeping them safe from predators. From when they go online on those kids games like Roblox or something like.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna. That's why they're using that as an excuse to start pushing where you gotta give up all your personal information to log into the internet.
Yeah. Yep. More censorship.
Yeah, and really they don't need that. I mean, there's other ways of doing it. But
All right, we can continue.
okay.
Whatever the algorithm tells them to think. And that is sad, yes, but that is also dangerous. High school teachers, because of No Child Left Behind.
One fist her, two fist her.
Are you serious?
You picked a hard one on purpose.
It's a Dr. Seuss book, you dips.
Liberal activists said phonics drills take the joy out of reading.
They're so boring. I swear they do a better job than Nembutal or Trazodone in putting children to sleep.
This balanced literacy teacher actually discourages her student from sounding words out.
Stop doing that. Stop. You can't sound out. I don't know why you started doing that.
Oh my gosh,
Instead, the child
pause.
could-
Look at the.
That's horrible. That's how we were taught phonics. You learned words by sounding them out.
Yeah. What the? Oh man, smack that teacher. Get out of there.
No, that's a bad teacher. As a bad teacher.
It is.
Yeah, I don't get that. Like, what are you supposed to do if you can't sound it out?
Exactly. Just know it. You can't just know it. You have to sound it out.
That's wrong.
Oh man, that's wrong.
All right,
and try to guess the word.
What?
Balanced literacy was widely accepted until 2 years ago when podcaster Emily Hanford released a series called Sold a Story. Parents told her.
It didn't seem like they were really teaching them to read. It seemed like they were teaching them to sound like they could read.
Time magazine quoted teachers who called phonics dehumanizing, colonizing, the man telling us what to do.
Okay, so that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. They're
Colonizing,
supposed to
really?
guess-
Really? They made phonics racist? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, stop it. It is a good way to learn how to read.
Yeah.
They wanted to try to make it like it's a privileged thing. Just
man,
basic
this is
education is
yeah.
basic education is a privilege now. I get,
Oh,
or
yeah,
it's like you're privileged now if you have a basic education.
They want the next
You're not
generation to be-
privileged. The public school system is open to everyone. That's
No, I
not
know.
a privilege.
But
Oh my
they want-
gosh.
I know, but they want you to. That's why they're trying to make the public school system dumb, so to make everybody that does have a public or a good education to seem like they're privileged, and they should be attacked, basically.
It seems
No,
like
not
they make
physically,
the
but
whole
you
next
know.
generation is stupid.
No, I think what the government, the federal government, don't want to send any more money for schools. So all the schools that I know, they're sent. All the kids, they're going to a charter school now, a private school. It's away from the public school system.
Yeah, that's what Joey
they
went
want.
to.
They want, yeah, the charter schools are taking the money from the public school because they're not doing the good job. So the parents are either homeschooling or sending the kids to
Wait a minute.
charter schools.
I need to correct what you just said. They're not taking the money. What happens is the money doesn't go to the school. The money follows the kid. So if the kid goes to the charter school gets the money.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
The money goes with the kid. And that's why school choice is so important. Because if your kid lives here, so they have to go to school A, which sucks. That means the money goes to school A because you're forcing the kid to go to a school, which sucks. Whereas if there was school choice, the kid could go to school A, B, C, or D and choose the best one, and then the money would go to the best schools.
The child.
And the ones that weren't getting the students, well, they would know they need to improve if they want people to go to their school. But the schools have no incentive to get better because they're forced to give the kids are forced to go to the school, whether it's good or not, and they get the funding. It's not right. That's why school choice is so important. That's why it's pushed, because the money follows the kid.
Kid.
Wow.
All right, let's continue.
The word, so they're not actually being taught how to read.
What does this word say?
I don't know.
Medium. Close. Miniature. Okay, any of the letters?
And an I.
Minimum. She got it.
We have to learn cursive, how to read cursive and how to write cursive. Do they not do this anymore? She wore a silhouette of clothes that were extraordinary but somewhat gauche.
That index card for me.
She
Pause.
Wait, how old is this girl? This girl
That's
doing
what
the
I'm
video?
saying. They're the girl doing. She's a Gen Z,
Oh,
late
okay,
Gen Z.
So they were still teaching cursive when she was in grade school then?
Yeah, that's what I said. The earlier Gen Z kids had a normal education.
Oh, okay. So they were like the last of all of us. That
The
had-
last.
Okay.
Yeah. She said, do they not teach? What did she say now? Do they not teach? Can you rewind it a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
This anymore? She wore a silhouette.
Minimum. She got
Yeah,
it.
We have
right
to learn
there.
cursive, how to read cursive and how to write
Cursive.
cursive.
Pause.
Do they not do this anymore?
No, they don't teach cursive anymore. Some schools are bringing it back, but the majority still do not teach cursive, which I think
Yeah.
is also planned, because then if you can't read cursive, you can't read historical documents.
Yeah, like the Constitution.
Another
Yep.
Yeah, another
Like the
thing that
Constitution.
another reason they don't show cursive is because AI cannot read the cursive or the computer.
Yeah, that's true. And
Yeah.
so what do people do now for signatures? Do they just like write a letter now? Because my signature, even though I can't write cursive anymore, it was based on the days back in grade school when I learned how to write my name. I mean, it's been reduced down to like basically just a G with a squiggly line after it, but like it's just like I used to write out my full name. And
What do you mean you can't write cursive anymore? You forgot how?
well, yeah, I just can't do it. I mean, I still remember the letters,
Mhm.
but like it takes me like so long just to write out a few words. Like I can't like jam it out like I used to, you know, like
It's-
I could with some practice. I still remember the letters. It's just I can't
You have
do
to practice. Yeah, you've
Yeah.
lost the muscle memory.
it. Yeah, exactly. But I could still do it. Like I still have the memory. Like I still know most of the letters for the most part and how to do them. So there might be like one or two I might not really remember, like the uppercase and lowercase, but yeah, I still remember most of them.
I get messed up with U's and W's and M's and N's.
And then I know this is a weird question, but there was no cursive for numbers, right? Cursive was just letters, right?
Yeah.
Just numbers. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, unless you wrote the word out, like TWO for 2.
Yeah, actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I actually deliver to a house a lot where it's actually really annoying, but they have their address written above their house, but for some reason, instead of numbers, every number is a word that's written in cursive. I just think it's strange.
That's
And-
horrible.
And another thing is that when you go find a job, they don't give you applications anymore because kids cannot read and write. Their writing sucks.
Well, and it's
Cannot
also
read
easier
their
just to do
writing.
it online too.
Yeah,
They
it's
can
more
just
clear,
process it so much
you
easier
know.
online.
Yeah, if you give a teenager an application, you will not be able to read what they wrote, and they will not get hired.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, let's continue.
Or she wore a silhouette of clothes that were extraordinary but somewhat gauche.
That index card for me.
She wore a suit, clothes that were. Who's this for? Extraordinary, but somewhat Gertrude?
No, explain what that means.
I don't know.
Oh, she wore a sahalat of clothes that were extraordinary, whatever, bro, but somewhat gooch.
What does that mean?
She wore a lot. Wait, she wore.
You know what really annoys me that kids do nowadays, and I don't know where I experienced this. It might have been at work when I used to work at Macy's, because we used to have a lot of younger kids come through there. they would be reading something and they wouldn't be able to read a word, and I would like correct them. I'd be like, oh, that's extraordinary, and he'd be like, yeah, whatever you said, and I'd be like, and I just think to myself, like, what, you don't want to learn it? You just, like, you know what I mean? It was just, I was always annoyed that nobody wanted to learn anything. Like, they just wanted, like, when it came to work, it'd just be like, oh, I don't know what to do, and I'd be like, oh, you got to do this, and they're like, oh, okay, and then like, and I'd be like, I'm not doing it for you. Like, you got to do it now. And then like I don't know. It was just like weird. Like nobody like, wants to learn.
All of a sudden they lose the interest in what you're talking about. They want to move on to something else.
Yeah, I used to get so annoyed. Like it's almost like what, do I have to bribe you? Do I have to like bring in food every day just to get you guys to like? I refuse to do anything like that either. It was ridiculous.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Plus, I didn't have the money to bring them food every day.
Bro, I don't know,
be
bro.
stupid, be stupid. I say,
Yeah.
Let them say that to them. That they, like let them think about it. Like, what do you mean, be stupid? Like,
Yeah, one thing that pisses me off is when my kids used to go to track meet. There was like a few days the school will have competitions and see who was the fastest runner or who was the best. And at that time, I think they were giving them for participation #1 or blue ribbons to all because they were participating. There was no #1, #2, #3.
Yeah. They stopped that a while ago. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, there's no reward at the end of
there's no real competition.
There's just no reward.
They just go along with everybody. Just do what they're doing. There's no competition. Like, who cares if you're first or second anymore? I mean, that's that's the way they look at it. Like, it's just stupid. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
When I went to my daughter's field, what do you call it, summer games thing? Like, I was wondering what the heck's going on here. People just like doing stuff. There's no ribbons. There's no nothing. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
We can continue.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Jose. I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
No, I was done. Go ahead.
It's like they babied it down. Like, everybody's afraid to go first or second or whatever. No one wants to be last or whatever it is. Like, what I mean? It's just like it ended. It's just like, huh? It was weird.
Yep.
How don't you know silhouette? Guys, I don't think we can blame this on COVID. I really don't think so.
My students can't read. You're going to give them a test with a text on it that they don't understand. So they're not going to attempt it because then that makes them feel a specific type of way. They don't want to struggle.
That is the problem. They don't want to struggle. They also can't handle being bored.
They don't want to be challenged.
Stimulated. They need silence sometimes, though, to be able to handle that. They can't have constant stimulation every second of their lives. It's going to be impossible to learn anything or to complete any work. And parents matter here, whether people want to hear that or not, because reading with your child for even 30 minutes a night could improve the situation, right? Eating dinner without your phones, limiting this hyper-stimulating content, actually watching what your kids are watching, making sure they're actually learning something, letting a child struggle also through a problem instead of instantly solving it for them, because teachers cannot reverse years of this overstimulation and neglect completely by themselves.
Teachers are quitting mid-year again at record numbers. It's one of the reasons why. A student who wasn't assigned to me or my classroom was let into my room by another adult, a teacher's aide, and repeatedly ignored my direction and instructions to leave. Eventually, she repeatedly called me a and threatened me with physical violence, which sent me into a panic attack.
Oh, like, it's a fact that some kids think they can get away with that.
Gen Z is officially the first generation ever to score lower on IQ tests than their parents. Neuroscientist Jared Cooney-Horvath analyzed decades of data and found sharp drops in attention, memory, reading, maths, problem solving, and overall IQ. The decline began around 2010, exactly when digital technology flooded classrooms. Yeah.
Exactly, 2010. So the older Gen Zs were already in the classroom, already learning the traditional way.
Yeah.
And that's why it's the younger Gen Zs and the older Gen Alphas that are entering high school that can't read, and the younger ones are not learning how to read, and it's really bad.
Wow.
At some point I was wondering years ago, when I would just see kids at school, like on TV or whatever, like on, like news things, or I would like see my friends' kids, and I would ask, not their kids, but I would ask like my friend, like, so do your kids get bored at school? Do they hate school? And they're like, no, they don't really hate school. Like none of the kids like seem to hate school anymore. And I was like, oh, that's good. But then I kind of realized, because do whatever they want. They don't listen to the teacher anyway. So they just, what's the difference of being out of school on a day off or just being at school? It just seems like they just do whatever they want, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that was kind of it kind of dawned on me that was why.
Yeah, but so you're still trapped in a room and you can't go fishing or something, you know?
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? You're still trapped in a room.
Yeah, but it's so much different when they just sit there and just goof off and don't really listen. You know, like when you used to watch those old movies, what were those called? The Substitute and like Dangerous Minds, where classrooms like that were kind of a rarity, you know what I mean? But now it's just like it's like an all over the place thing where the kids just don't care and, you know, threaten the teachers, and it's like it only used to be secluded to like those like real like, you know, ghetto neighborhoods where everything was like crazy, you know what I mean? But now it's everywhere.
What's wrong with her?
It is. Younger and younger. Also, guys, do me a favor. Please take a moment. Make sure you hit like on the stream. Make sure you're subscribed here. This is my second channel, Sandy Diva After Dark. Also, ring the bell so you know when we go live here, because it's not as often as the main channel. Donuts are very much appreciated. They are very much needed. If you don't know why, please look at the previous video on this channel. But they are never, ever required. If you would like to donut, links are in the description. And if you see it, please give this stream a hype, because it shows it to more people. 100%. That's the whole point of hyping up a stream or a video, is to get it out to more people. YouTube sees the hype, they send it out. All right, let's get back to, donut. Here's a donut for everyone. All right, let's get back to the video.
Horvath told US lawmakers that more than half of a teenager's waking life is now spent staring at a screen. Today's kids are being trained for speed and not thinking.
Yeah, that's the issue. And also schools, when they see this problem, right, they need to stop pretending everything is fine and pushing students through the system just to make the schools look successful, because that's making everything worse. But at least there are people speaking up about this, right? That fact alone, that we're having this conversation, gives me some hope, because you definitely can't fix a problem if you refuse to acknowledge it. And that's all for today's video, guys. You let me know what generation you are a part of and what you think about Gen
All
Alpha
right,
and
we're
Gen
moving
Z.
on to the next one. Can you tell me who the creator is?
Generation
I want. Who's this?
Yeah, it's Novia.
Novia.
Yeah, or Novia. Novia, whatever.
Novia. Novia. Okay, let's continue.
Alpha is on track to be the most troubled generation of all time, and it's not even close. This is the era of mindless consumption, extreme polarization, and soulless, meaningless junk food entertainment. From the explosion of mental illness and violent crime to rampant consumerism and alarmism, our world is slowly degrading. And Gen A has been placed at the forefront of it all. Throw in a worldwide pandemic that shut down the entire globe for months, unhinged inflation, and technology that's becoming progressively more invasive, and you get a recipe that could destroy the minds and lives of millions. This is the generation of your little cousins, your younger siblings, or maybe even your kids. And while it may seem that these characteristics closely resemble those of Gen Z, there's one minor distinction that makes Gen A something that has never been seen in human history. Now, for those of you born anywhere between the 80s and the early 2000s, you might think of your life thus far in two main parts: life without the internet and life with the internet. You recall a time when phones were actually used for talking and when computers served as a tool rather than an alternate universe. You probably spent most of your free time outside or with other people. You were fully immersed in tangible reality, and your digital experiences were probably limited to a couple hours a day. Rather than scrolling through 300 different TikToks in an hour, you watched a couple episodes of your favorite show. When you were bored, you were forced to make use of your imagination or just sit there and enjoy the silence for a little while. Fast forward to 2023, and your life is probably completely different. You likely spend most of your time on a phone or computer, and while that might be problematic, it doesn't change the fact that your developmental years were spent without the presence of this invasive technology. And because of that, you have
that's
a
the
firm
key.
comprehension of the content.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier about the kids completely being rewired from a young age.
Yep, that's the problem. I don't think, I really believe there should be like, just like, you know, you can't get cigarettes until you're 21. It used to be 18, but you can't get cigarettes till you're 21. I don't think you should be giving anything like a tablet or a phone, at least until the teenage years. At least.
I know. I would say at least like junior high or entering into high school. I mean, maybe junior high, maybe they're ready by then, but
yeah, like 13, 14. Because
by then they're starting to hit
formative,
puberty and they want to
yeah,
talk.
the building blocks are there.
Yeah.
Like the connections that the brain makes for problem solving and stuff like that are already forming. So, you know, whereas
Yeah, age 12 or higher, nothing less.
Yeah,
and there could be like whatever happened to parental controls where it like limits things. Like you can do that until your kid's 17, basically. So,
funny story, Dr. Bob. The diner that I worked at in Center City, until it was torn down in 2016 or 2017, it still had a vending machine with cigarettes in it in 2017.
Wow.
It was one of the last ones, I think.
so was that like a real thing back in the day? Did a lot of kids just seek out those vending machines and just buy their cigarettes from those?
Oh,
No.
sure. Yeah.
No, because you could just buy cigarettes. You just needed a note from an
Yeah,
adult.
yeah, that's true. You get a fake note from your parents.
Oh, I didn't even
Yeah.
know that. That would get you thrown in jail today if you
Yeah.
sold cigarettes to a kid.
Yeah, I used to take notes to Rite Aid to get cigarettes from my grandma.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's nuts.
I used to get free cigarettes out of the cigarette machines all the time.
I remember the casinos around here. I can't
take
remember
the
what
whole
year it
machine,
was,
you tip
but we
it
were
over
actually
front.
allowed to sit down and smoke. I mean, I didn't smoke, but my friends did.
Oh, you can't smoke in casinos anymore?
I think you can walking around, but I think the restaurants they got there, you can't. They don't have smoking sections anymore.
Oh yeah, no, the restaurants are non-smoking, but but
they have an entire wing of the casino that's all smoking, and then and then they have like the rest of the casino. They've pretty much narrowed it to like one small corner of the casino. I think they kept it pretty big though, because casinos are smart. They know people want to just sit there. And
yeah, they don't want people to get up.
Yeah, they don't want them to go outside for a smoke break and then possibly just decide to leave.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right.
I used to tip the vending machine on its face and get all the cigarettes out.
Between the two eras,
I
which
was
allows you to
bad
quickly
boy.
recognize the issues unique to modernity, even if you might fall victim to them sometimes. But what if you didn't have that point of reference? What if you were born in the last decade? What if you were thrust right into the most unstable and confusing era in human history? What would your basis for stability and normality be? This question encapsulates the one-of-a-kind situation faced by Generation Alpha, and no one seems to have an answer to it. In fact, no one has.
Yeah, this shouldn't be a question. You still have family around you. You still have reality around you. It doesn't matter when you were born. It matters if your parents give you the technology to use constantly.
Yeah, exactly.
There are kids who do not use technology and who still go outside and play. And like I
see it all the time. There's still kids that play.
You can still have a normal childhood. It's up to the parents. The parents are the problem.
Yeah.
And it's laziness is what it is. The parents don't want to deal with behavioral issues. They don't want to deal with their kids. They want the kids to just be good.
Yep.
And it's not good. It's not good at all. They are destroying the generation. I'm sorry. It is the parents. It is.
I hate to say it, but I think those parents, or a lot of those parents, probably had those kids and didn't really want to have those kids, and probably really don't. It's sad to say, but they probably really don't want the kids. You know what I mean? So they just kind of just autopilot their parenting because they're like, bitter with themselves. Like, oh, I shouldn't even have this. I should be living my life. Or, like, I don't know. I just see a lot of people that I think come off like that.
Selfish.
Yeah, selfish. Exactly.
Yes, I agree, because I see plenty of parents who don't allow their kids to have the tablets and the phones and go out of their way to do things with them and have a normal childhood.
Or just poor people. Like, I'm in a pretty poor neighborhood. I see children out there still playing with like regular things because they can't afford it.
Well, no, you can get free tablets and stuff like that, free computers if you're poor.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe these people don't know about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like I said, I do see children playing out in the courtyard where I live.
But is it mustard seed of faith? Is it actually more dangerous, or are we told it's more dangerous?
What?
Because I got to tell you, in the 80s, my sister was almost abducted off our front step, and we lived in a quiet little neighborhood. Like, I don't think it's actually more dangerous. maybe depending on where you live, but as a whole, I don't think it's more dangerous. I think it's because we're constantly, the news doesn't end. The news doesn't come on at 11 or 10
like it used
and
to,
play
yeah.
for an hour. Now the news is constant. They're constantly feeding to us that life is dangerous. I think it's just the exposure of it that makes us think it's more dangerous when it's really always been that same level of danger. And you need to teach your kids to be careful and don't talk to strangers and don't get candy from a van and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was because it was ingrained in our brains better too. And I think kids of like our generations, at least all of us here on panel, were probably a lot smarter, like street smarter too, you know.
They don't even teach kids how to properly cross the street anymore because everywhere in the street's a crosswalk. They just walk out in front of you.
Yeah, so they just instead of fixing the problem, they just give you a ticket now if you don't stop for people. You know? Like that video you showed in LA where they were.
Yeah, they punish the driver instead of the person walking out in front of a car when they shouldn't be. It's insane.
I don't know. Yeah, that actually kind of makes me mad. That law.
That's also why we have to drive so slow around schools because the kids may dart out at any time. It's insane.
Yeah, they're not smart anymore. Well, I mean, they're smart. Well, some of them are, but yeah, they're not taught smart anymore.
Mm-hmm. All right, we need to
think through
continue.
how it's going to play out. And this isn't your typical case of generations pointing fingers at each other. This is an era that could see the most profound societal transformation in human history. It begins in the womb, where the development of the hypersensitive fetus is already being impacted by record levels of obesity and unnatural amounts of radiation from digital devices. Upon birth, the kid begins to observe the people around it constantly staring down at their phones, which they might come to think of as an instinctual human function for all we know. Upon reaching 6 months old, babies already have an
Yeah,
understanding
that's a good
of the basics
point.
of the touch
Pause.
screen. It's a third of babies.
That is a really good point. How do we know that their brain isn't developing to learn that that's instinct, that's just a normal, like, you know, like when we were growing up, we watched our parents cook, clean, laugh, hang out with family and friends. And these babies are seeing their parents on devices constantly.
Yeah, just buried in their phone. Just
Yeah, and that's probably making a connection, a wiring connection that shouldn't be made too.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
Yeah, I remember it was real quick. One time I saw a lady in a grocery store like 25 years ago, and she was obviously, you know, she was a smoker, like, and her daughter was hanging off the side of the cart. She was probably like 5 or something, and she had like a thing of McDonald's French fries, and she was like perfectly mimicking her mom, like smoking a cigarette. Like she was doing all the motions. She was actually like flicking it, like she was like flicking the ash off of it. Like
yeah,
it was ridiculous. Like she had it down to a T. And she was just doing it with a French fry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, children will mimic their parents like every time. Like,
and
yeah.
Yeah, and that's what they say. If you're much more likely to smoke if your parent or grandparent smokes in front of you constantly.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if that little girl didn't grow up to be like, she's probably got to be at least 30 something by now. I guarantee, I can almost guarantee she probably smokes cigarettes.
I mean, I used to do that too. I used to do that with the candy cigarettes and the chocolate cigarettes
Yeah,
and the bubblegum cigarettes.
I used to
And
do it as
smoke.
a joke. Like I used to joke with my friend, you know, like pretend like, but like I didn't like, I don't know if I ever did it like, you know, like, because she looked like, the little girl looked like she was just doing it like subconsciously. Like she wasn't, I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, you never know. Luckily, the kid doesn't like the smell or taste or whatever everything to do with tobacco, except for the fact they just like to mimic a cigarette.
Yeah, but that's then later on in life that changes.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It can go either way.
Yeah.
They can hate it so much that they make a vow to themselves that they never do it, or they're so curious that they try it and they end up becoming a smoker.
Yeah, you gotta go either which way at that point. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
under the age of 1 displaying the ability to swipe. If you've been around a baby recently, you know that they are completely infatuated with smartphones. They tend to have
Hammer's
far more
facts.
interest in screens than any other toy. And this makes perfect sense considering the fact that the luminescent interactive world of a phone screen is simply unlike anything else. The lights, sounds, and rapid movements are unbelievably stimulating to a baby's brain. By the age of 5 or 6, most kids already have their own iPads, which renders the rest of their toys
That's
completely
sick.
useless. This is where they first encounter the confusing and detest world of the internet, where they will spend around 6 hours a day scrolling through mindless short-form content or watching other
Pause.
people play with.
A 5 or 6-year-old, 6 hours a day scrolling.
That's pretty much the whole day outside of school.
Yeah.
Toys. And if their parents didn't take the time to enable a child lock, it's likely they'll come across something that even adults find scarring.
The hell?
And you obviously can't expect a kid to be able to moderate themselves, which
the
is
hell?
why it's the parent's responsibility. But this can be much harder than it sounds. You see, having a smartphone has become standard for children as young as 7. Because of this, the entire culture of this generation is dictated by the internet. Everything they talk about or do for fun is sourced from the internet. So the one kid whose parents wouldn't buy them a phone is bound to be an outcast from the 2nd grade. Their ability to converse, socialize, and play is limited since they don't have access to the digital world that all the other kids are living in. And we know what excessive internet use does to adults, so we can only assume the impact will be much harsher on young children. But we also know how terrible social isolation can be, especially at a young age. So this leaves parents with a hard choice. Either they expose their 7-year-old to the brain rot of the internet, or they shield them from it and inhibit their ability to develop socially. Okay,
Pause.
fast forward to
No, that's not the option.
What?
Yeah.
No, the option is you shield them from the internet and you build social connections by actually hanging out with actual children in person.
What children?
The ones they go to school with.
But they're all stuck on their phones.
Well,
Yeah,
there'll
but-
be a couple that aren't.
You know who the kids are in school. The parents know the other kids. You call up the parent, you make a play date, and you say there's no digital stuff allowed. You can call me on my phone and I can have you talk to your kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, there's ways around this. Hi, Noel. It's not an open panel, sweetie. All right, let's continue.
the current day, where the oldest of Gen A is about 13 years old. While many kids at this point will have had some level of developmental impairment, the real damage has yet to be done. Around this age is the time when many kids start to develop worldviews, opinions, and identities. They begin to comprehend some of the underlying dynamics of society and human nature, and naturally, their curiosity directs them towards the internet. And while the internet can be good for this, it has a far greater potential to ruin it. The internet is filled with useful information and resources, but it's completely smothered by masses of sensationalist garbage that's designed to hijack your emotions and get your click. And we adults fall for this all the time, so why wouldn't young children? The algorithm isn't going to serve them something educational or appropriate for their age. It's going to serve them a fresh batch of mind-numbing waste. It's going to serve them the same content that everyone else clicked on. And due to the nature of the internet, this is almost always something that's crafted to be as shocking and stimulating as possible. Or in other words, something that doesn't align with reality. And this works a lot like a drug. It's fast-paced, interesting, and gives you full control. As long as you keep swiping, it keeps delivering. It offers everything that reality lacks and more. And since Gen A has been exposed to this world from such a young age, its effects will have a much longer time to incubate, with most of that time being during some of the most important years of mental development. As a result, Gen A will likely see a much bigger spike in mental illness than Gen Z, and at a much younger age. Everything from depression to anxiety will be more rampant.
That's awful.
The less common disorder among Gen Z, known as internet psychosis, will
That is awful. It's causing mental illness. That is awful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna get bad. I mean, if it's not corrected at some point soon, it's gonna get really bad. Even if it does get corrected, there's still gonna be a portion of society that's probably not gonna handle life so well.
Hey, Wally, that word is it's not a good word. Hey, Wally. I know what you meant, but that's not what it meant to to the what generation are you, Wally? How old are you?
Don't say that in the wrong neighborhood. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah. I know it's not what you meant, though. All right, we can continue.
will likely become more widespread among Gen A. And everything only gets worse from here. You see, one of the coping mechanisms we have for the illness and emptiness caused by our modern habits is to double down and dive even deeper. And through this, many people actually find an outlet. Enter the toxic wastelands of Twitter and Reddit. Some of the people who need help the most come to these sites
Oh,
in search
please
of an identity.
stop.
In doing so, they come across a vast array of different political and cultural rabbit holes.
Pause.
Eventually,
Okay, here's the thing. It's only toxic if you take it as toxic. I'm tired of people saying, like, this is part of, like, he must be part of it. He's got to be Gen Z, the one talking on the screen. Because here's the thing, or maybe even a millennial, but more likely Gen Z. It's like the youngest millennials, like the ones born in the 90s and down, they don't realize that you take offense. That you don't give offense. If you find stuff offensive and toxic, just leave, walk away. But it's you making you feel bad when you see something you don't like. Those people aren't making you feel bad. They are having a conversation online, not with you, by the way, usually. And if they are having a conversation with you, again, walk away. And don't think twice about it. But when you dwell on something because you took offense, that's when it makes you feel bad. You'd be a much happier person if you just walked away and just didn't care what other people say.
Yep, I agree.
But that's all. Because I don't consider Reddit and X a toxic wasteland. There is some value to both of those places. And yeah, there's bad people everywhere, crappy people everywhere, and stupid people everywhere. You just got to tune those people out and stick to the things that are helpful about those sites. Anyway. All right, let's continue.
Find one appealing enough and allow it to completely take control of their identity and personality. And this is what has caused political and cultural discourse to become so diluted and polarizing. When a person's entire identity is completely reliant on certain ideas or beliefs, a simple questioning of those beliefs is an attack on them as a human being. And this problem will only be worse with Gen A down the line. Gen A doesn't know what the more tame political climate of the past looks like. They weren't around for the time when most people didn't really care or think about politics at all. By 2016, the oldest of Gen A was 6, and they got to witness the unprecedented 2016 election.
Pause. That is a good point. When we were growing up, politics wasn't a big deal. In this day and age, politics is in everything. People make things political or racial when there's no need for it. Like literally, news headlines. There's no need to bring race into it. There's no need to bring politics into it, and they do anyway. Everything is politicized.
Yeah, I've seen so many articles that, like, I think for no reason or inappropriately, like, name the races of every person involved. And it's like, well, why just this story did you do it, but not this story? You know, like, I don't know. It's just, like, I started noticing things that started irritating.
Yep.
I just, group people together by just saying people. I mean, we're all the same, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're not all the same. That'd be bad. You know what I mean?
Or
but,
sometimes. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, this is the part where you fast forward because he's going into the politics, and I'm not talking about the politics. I want to show how it is in the classroom. So you're just going to fast forward to the next. We're done with this video.
Oh,
you know what I mean? We're not all the same. That'd be scary.
And guys, pause. After we're done this show tonight, I'm just going to make this list public. So if you want to go back and finish watching that one, you can. Everything in this list will be public. It's going to say like it's going to be the Gen Alpha playlist. You'll be able to see it on my main channel after this show.
Right.
And I'll see if I can make a copy of it on the new channel. I don't think I have access to playlists on the new channel yet. That's the problem. All right. Who's this creator? I'm sorry.
It is. I just looked at it. Hold on. It's Zach, ZAC, V2 capitals. The last two are capitals.
V2, you mean version 2, like a number 2?
Yeah, V number 2. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, it's okay. All right. This is where we're going to see the teachers, and this is the important part, so you can see how bad it is. All right. Here we go.
Or quitting their job because of the behavior of Gen Alpha students.
Merry Christmas, Brielle.
We're about to see a splitting of society, and I don't mean anything political.
All right, so we're going to be talking about another set of videos that I have seen popping up on my feed recently, most likely because I made a video talking about Christmas hauls and Christmas lists from children, along with really bad parenting, TikTok parents of vlogging, all of that mess that we've seen before. But today we're going to be checking out the consequences of Gen Alpha, or the iPad kids, as a lot of people will say, starting to grow up and go through the schooling system, and what a lot of teachers are going through because of it. And
I would not be surprised if Gen Alpha ended up being called the iPad generation, or the tablet generation, or the device generation. I would not be surprised if that's the names they settled on.
Yeah, they should be, because they were born into it.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, it is not looking.
I agree, LJ. I wish he'd make more content. He hasn't. He doesn't have that much. There's not a lot to binge watch because he's a newer channel. All right, let's go.
Good. And I know I sound like an old person. I sound like the boomer saying that,
Hey,
the
David.
younger generations have it so much easier. They're so much dumber than they were. You know, millennials with the participation trophies, and Gen Z just does nothing but sit online all day. But honestly, we're starting to see issues arise from these kids when they are literally only a couple years old. Very crucial years, developing and socializing and being able to interact in the world. And shocking when there's an iPad stuck in their face 24/7. That doesn't really help them. So we're going to be going over some clips from teachers and seeing what's happening on their side, because whether you like it or not, they're the ones who are spending most of the time with these children instead of their actual parents. So I think this video is a good place to start.
Former teacher, and I have this prediction of where we're going as a society. I think this has already been happening, but it's going to be more pronounced. We're about to see a splitting of society, and I don't mean anything political. This splitting is going to be the people who lived their life with completely unfiltered internet access from the second they were born, and the people that were raised by parents that kept them at least in some levels of moderation of technology and screen time. I'm telling you right now, it is going to be more obvious the people that exist that are one or the other. If you don't already know, we are seeing the enormous negative effects of kids who are being raised on iPads and in screen.
You notice he left the boomers and Gen X out. People who grew up with no technology at all.
Yeah.
So we already have the split between that. People with no technology at all. Or I should say digital technology. And people who grew up with digital technology. That's the actual split. All right, let's continue.
Time. And one of the biggest issues that's coming from it is the complete inability to control and understand your emotions at all if you were nothing but screen time. Not to mention the inability for impulse control, needing constant, like having struggle with focusing, struggling with relationships, a sense of entitlement, as well as an element of narcissism where they feel like their life should revolve around them. They should have access to their thing all the time. No one can take what they want, what they need, what they should have out of and away from them.
Yeah,
so I don't have an enormous amount of.
Yeah, that's that main character syndrome. And the I need it now. And I'm going to get it because I need it and I want it.
That's a bit extreme, isn't it? I don't know.
But no, it's not. Think about it. Did you remember how that little girl screamed at her mother?
Yeah.
That's that behavior. But I want it now and I don't care. And I'm going to scream at you and you'll never understand.
No, my parents, hell, they'd let me scream. They don't care. Or they cared, I guess, in that way. I don't know. I just remember being raised differently like that. Like if I was to freak out or something, they took it away. They'd just take it away longer.
That's what you're supposed to do, but apparently that's not what the parents are doing.
Yeah, I think if
they're
they just
giving
wait
in. Sorry.
If they just wait the kid out, I'm sure he or she'll burn himself out. Like that's what you're supposed to do, but they give in too quick, and they keep giving in too quick. And
that's the way I was raised, and now I got all these twitches. No, I'm just kidding.
what happens is the parents give in, and then the next time it happens, the kid knows if I scream enough, I'm going to get what I want.
Exactly. You got it. That's why you got to nip that in the bud before it happens.
Wait. We can't hear Jose.
No.
I gotta step out. I gotta check my settings.
Jose, hit the settings button and change your microphone. It's switched.
Well, even if I'm quiet, we can't hear
How's
you.
that?
There we go.
Hello?
Perfect. We hear you now.
Now we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, good.
You weren't
Yeah.
here.
I was screaming and everything. It's like you couldn't hear me.
Nope.
Okay,
Yeah, I
sorry
had this
about
weird feel. I had this weird feeling that you might be trying to say something for somewhere. Maybe I actually heard you. Maybe I was
that.
like,
Yeah, I was.
sonic hearing you
Yeah, I
or
was
something.
muffled.
You were muffled.
Yeah, sorry
I kept
about that.
talking, I didn't hear you, so I wasn't trying to talk over you. I just like.
Oh
said,
no. I knew I had mic problems. That's okay. I knew that. I just didn't know how to put the settings back up again.
Gotcha.
Well,
Yeah,
thank
no,
you.
you sound good.
I'm back. All right.
You're back and you sound good now.
Yeah.
Screaming is like, I can't believe these kids, man. They scream at Walmart, they scream at Costco, and the parents just says, okay, let's go get what you want. They turn around and they go get what they want, and they get the toy, and then they get on the register, and then they put the toy back on the belt or away from the register. They go outside, and the kid's looking for the toy. It's not there because they didn't buy it, and he gets fooled. The kid gets fooled, and I don't know. They cry at the store and they cry at the parking lot and they cry going home.
That's
Wow.
not a good way of doing it. I don't. That sounds that's not good at all.
Yeah.
You
They don't
get
talk
it
to
at
the
all,
kid.
or you get it. You don't like fake to get
Yeah,
it. That's bad.
Yeah, but the parents they're just fooling the kid, pretending they're gonna buy it, but they don't buy it. So when they get
but
home,
that's
it's like,
worse.
where's my
That's
toy?
I don't
Oh,
like that.
we left.
Well, yeah, especially kids like that get like angry about it, and then like
Yeah, they
don't
get
trust
angry.
anything.
Yeah, no trusting issues. Yeah, they disconnect with their parents because they don't trust them anymore.
No, that's parents giving
crazy.
into. That's what causes that. No, you got to stick with your boundaries. If you don't, like, I mean, I grew up with very strict boundaries, and I grew up fine, right? So, I mean, I can't. If we grew up with no boundaries, you're going to be spoiled. You're going to be horrible. You're going to wind up in jail.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue, guys.
Of experience with this because I don't have a kid yet. Of course, you do see it all over the place, whether you're in a restaurant or Target, anywhere in public, you'll probably end up seeing some child with an iPhone or an iPad, maybe even headphones, completely zoned out of the whole world watching some sort of show. But if you really want to go digging around, there are several videos just showing how detached from reality these children are.
Say Merry Christmas.
What's the parents' fault? It's not the children.
Yeah, that's what you do, Mom.
So, I mean, if I was trying to do that and like hitting stuff out of my parents' hand when I was a kid, probably would have been way worse than getting my iPad taken away. But that just ends up being the way they think in general. And it's both parties' faults because the child clearly did not buy the iPad or the headphones so she could listen to whatever she wants, wherever she wants. It's not even like back when I was a kid, you know, there's a TV show on in the living room. Everybody who was in the vicinity had to watch that specific show. Now that's not even the case. So imagine having everything you want delivered to you instantly, along with possibly having access to the internet to find whatever you want at such a young age. We could take a look at.
We just have to pause it because we were going through a lot. But I wanted to mention that video with them. It's Christmas, and the daughter's literally smacking her phone. I'm sorry, I wouldn't have just taken the headphones. I would have taken the tablet out of her hand and told her to go to her room until she can act like a nice human being and keep her hands to herself.
Oh man, yeah, we grew up differently. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or it would be considered abuse nowadays, though, what our parents did to us. Or mine, anyway. Yeah.
My parents never hit me or nothing like that, but they were still pretty good about disciplining me. You know, like it was just a lot more being grounded and not
I
being
had
able to
hands-on parents. Oh man. Well, yeah, because they were always arguing with each other on top of it, so they'd get so frustrated, like they'd take the opportunity to take it out on one of us, like.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's
my brother would get beat up like really bad by my dad one time. Well, it was harsh. He punched him and stuff. Like, oh man. The abuse I went through growing up. Oh man, it wouldn't be nowadays. My parents would be in jail.
That's awful.
So sorry, Splatter.
That's okay. Well, I survived.
All right, let's continue.
Comments. Never understood why parents give their kids iPads, phones, etc. at a young age. Didn't get my first phone till I was 12 and it was a flip phone and I had 10 texts a week. I played with Legos and went outside like a normal kid. Don't ever see kids playing outside anymore. I could also attest to that as well. Even though I don't have my own kid, I'm in an...
Yeah, you don't see kids playing outside anymore. And I think part of that is the constant news feed telling parents to be scared. Be very, 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 very scared of the world around you. Like, the kids have a way to keep in constant contact with their parents, unlike us who did not.
Yeah.
Yet, we went outside and played, and this generation's told it's too dangerous.
Well, except for here where I live, yeah. Get all these buildings surrounded, like a big square spot. So in the middle is the playground where the children go. We're all surrounded by all the buildings where like people be watching from every window all the way around it, right? So it's kind of safe.
Okay.
And it's gated on top of it, right?
area in North
Noise
Carolina
Guru.
that is very...
I'm sorry, Noise Guru has a good point. I like that one. The HOA doesn't allow kids to go outside anymore because they're HOA Karens.
Oh no! Oh, that would suck.
Yeah, they're like policing all the kids' activities. They complaining, calling the cops on them, and yeah, they don't want to deal with the hassle of the HOA.
I canceled the HOA. They're nothing but bad news.
Yes.
Yep.
It's all I hear is bad news about HOA, like doing this, doing that, and like, get the hell out of my face.
I agree.
Very, very popular with starting families. Everybody's got a couple kids down here around me, but if I go out to the park to go shoot around on the field or go to run, I mean, really anywhere in public, there's not too many kids playing, especially with the amount that live in just my town alone. So, I mean, having that access to the internet or even like a YouTube Kids where they'll have barriers so you can't actually find everything that you possibly want, even though we've seen on YouTube there were workarounds and you could find some really messed up stuff on YouTube Kids, but this goes in the same realm in any social media platform. Here's Coco Melon, which is probably the biggest YouTube channel that has a TikTok as well, with 6 million followers. And as you can see, it's clearly kids content. So these 6 million followers are most likely all children or the parents' accounts that will give it to their kids to get them to stop being annoying. As crazy as that sounds, but honestly, it's the truth. So if you give these children who are entertained by shows at this nature the ability to be able to swipe every couple seconds, just like we can on TikTok, how is that going to mess with their brains when they're developing in life? I've seen clips like this, and I know it's supposed to be comedy, but
Severely. It severely messes with their brains because the connections are still forming and it is decreasing their ability to pay attention and to absorb content. Because even though they're constantly scrolling, they cannot tell you what the last video was about.
Yeah, they're just like, their attention spans like just for the time of that video, and then that's it. And then they just move on.
Yeah. By design, I think.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
This is 100% going to be the truth in the future.
The reason is I don't know, but it's something by design. Yeah.
Nah. There's another one that I was trying to find that I don't know if the guy took down. I saw it a long time ago, but it was like a Gen Alpha being hired for a normal corporate 9-to-5 job, you know, nothing special. And it was just a skit of a guy just zoning out constantly, needing that dopamine hit, just like they're on social media on the iPad from the moment they were born. So imagine now putting that kid into a classroom for 6-8 hours a day, not allowed to be on the screen at all.
Teachers of all ages are quitting their job because of the behavior of Gen Alpha students. And they are citing that exact reason for the decision of them leaving the profession. So many people want to disparage the individual teacher for making that decision, saying that it's their age or it's the era in which they began their career, where they just can't handle this new generation of kids anymore. A few videos back, I discussed how Gen Z teachers and younger teachers that have just entered the profession are seeing some of these behaviors and they're alarmed, and a lot of them are calling it quits after a few years, realizing this is not what they want to do and put up with for the rest of their life. And I see so many people trying to say, well, they're just young and immature and they just don't know what this is all about, and if they can't handle the profession, it's good they get out now because they don't
deserve the title of teacher and they need to let somebody else step in and do the job for them. When in reality, we have teachers like this person's mother who have been in the game for several decades, who knew exactly what they were getting into at the start, who had no issues up to this point. But now that they have Gen Alpha students in their classroom, they are more than willing to give up their retirement, give up their retirement pay, just so that they can escape the chaos that your children are bringing in.
They're willing to give up their pensions,
Get away from it.
which is crazy.
Which means that they're not even willing to wait out however long. Well, for some of them, it's probably a while that they have to wait.
And they've probably been dealing with this a while, and it's just gotten to a breaking point.
Yeah. I mean, even if they do show up and don't do anything, they probably still get harassed and yelled at and all that. It's crazy.
It really is.
To the classroom.
And I could 100% understand that because I have a surprising amount of teachers in my family at both ends. Some that are very close to retiring, saying that they're just trying to eke out a couple more years with these horrible kids just so they could get their retirement and get out of it. And the people who just came in going, these kids are the worst. There's absolutely zero manners. They're the worst that I've ever seen. So this doesn't really seem like a one-off issue. We could look at some of the comments. It's the screens during early development. Kids 0 to 2 and 3 to 5 are missing out on a period of critical development. My mom's a millennial, and as Gen Z with Gen Alpha siblings, 10-year age gap, I heard my mom say it's the school's job to teach them. What's the point of having kids in the first place if you're not actually going to parent them? I want to know what they're going to do when so many quit that a school can't operate. It was a lack of respect and a lack of consequences for their actions that drove me away. 25-year-old veteran teacher, the biggest change I've seen in students, parents don't set boundaries. Teacher of 35 years, it's not just the challenge of these Gen Alpha students, it's the millennial parents. I mean, I guess to a point I could understand. I've always played video games as I was a little kid. I had a Game Boy and all the iterations until I got a PlayStation. I played that for years. I did play sports though and go outside, especially during the summer. I was basically out all day, every day.
That's the thing. Like he said, he got the PlayStation. He played it all the time, but he still went outside. You can't bring the PlayStation outside. He still went outside and played. Like, that's the key. These things need to be limited.
I spent the equal amount of time walking around in the mountains around my neighborhood that I did as I did playing Nintendo games.
Yep.
And so did pretty much everybody else I knew in that neighborhood.
Around, skating around town with my friends, and you really just don't see that in general unless they want a $1,000 motorized scooter to ride back and forth to their friend's house, and they'll probably just end up playing video games and then ride right back. But even watching TV back when I was a kid and playing video games is a completely different beast to social media today, and this is happening all over the world.
I've been teaching for like 10 years. I've been in the game for 10 years. And before that, I was teaching assistant. So I've been in it even longer than 10 years. One thing that I'm noticing, this generation, Alpha, bloody hell, they are a piece of work. And I'm seeing some teachers in America saying this. But, so I work in year 2. And, oh my God, I feel victimized by some of these 6 and 7-year-olds. Like, they don't listen. They're violent as hell. Their academic abilities are so much lower than I've seen in my previous teaching years. They're helpless. You ask a question, they're just staring at you. They still can't form their letters. Like before, in a class of 30, you might have had maybe 5 or 6 students that, you know, needed support to access the curriculum. Now it's like the other way around. You have 5 or 6 students that can access the curriculum, and then the rest of the class really struggles.
And some of the comments from this video is just insane. My sister is an EYFS teacher, and she won't push her 4-year-old to hold a pen properly in case it stresses him out. Are you kidding me? There's literally no...
In case, did you hear that, everyone?
Yeah.
They don't want to teach a kid how to properly hold a pencil because it stresses them out.
What the fuck?
So they can just sit there and do that, like holding their fist thing where the pencil comes out the bottom, and they can just do it that way if they want.
Yeah, and never write properly.
And I'm sure that the same goes for eating too. They can do the fist thing with the spoon and eat, and they probably eat like that into adulthood now. Oh my gosh, that'll be crazy. In 15 years, if you see like adults in like the mall or whatever eating their food like babies, like with the, you know, like the whole fist thing and everything, like
Well, I have.
or
Yeah,
adults eating their food with their hands or something, like they just never grew up or something.
I've seen that, but it's not prevalent. But yeah, that could be worse if everyone started doing it. That'd be horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some teachers. Yeah, there were some teachers that they were dumb kids or very violent kids. because they were given a pass to get to the next grade because they didn't want to deal with them if they flunked them.
Yeah,
They didn't want to
hand
deal
them
with
off
them
to the next
again.
teacher.
Yeah, they says, "Go ahead, son. You did good. See you later. Let somebody else take care of you."
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's continue.
Hope. Now, I will be the first to admit, especially when I was done with high school and I dropped out of community college, I barely write anything. Basically, the only thing that I actually write is my signature on certain documents sometimes. Almost everything is done on the internet, so the keyboard is really the most important, but I still do know how to write, of course. And a teacher actually doing that for her son, that's not a good situation at all. 2 words, screen addiction for both children and parents. It all starts at home. And I mean, I know this does have some connection to what we see on TikTok, and I know a lot of people believe that it's a Chinese psyop. You know, we're scrolling every 5 seconds, getting our attention spans worse and worse, watching the dumbest videos, overall legitimately making us dumber, and some believe it's 100% on purpose. However, when we start going down to the children, of course there is TikTok like we saw with the Coco Melon account, but the overwhelming majority is YouTube Kids, watching all these shows and animations for hours on end.
And just YouTube, because even though the kids are supposed to be on YouTube Kids, somehow they're over here too, and I think it's because they're using the parents' accounts.
Oh, kids are smarter than people give them credit for. They always figure a way around things.
Yeah. Or if they can't, one of their friends at school teach them or something.
Exactly. Like I said, they figure out a way always. The kids are way smarter.
That's how I used to get around things, because I was never able to figure things out, a lot of things like that myself. So I just always asked other kids, and then they'd be like, "Oh yeah, this is how you do it," and I'd be like, "All right, cool." Yeah.
How they got the information, who knows? But it got out there. Yeah, always does.
And because that's where they get a majority of their communication, unfortunately. I've even seen, in some cases, you probably have too, where if any of these characters on these shows, or I guess just YouTube channels, have accents, there's a possibility that a child could pick up an accent just because that's how they're learning to speak. It's unbelievable. I know somebody where their kid was on for so long that they started picking up a slight Australian accent, even though they were American. So even though it probably sounds pretty hypocritical, because almost everything that I do for a living is all completely online, whenever I do have kids, I'm not going to be giving them an iPad and a pair of headphones like we saw in that clip where they could just sit and watch whatever they want. But unfortunately, it seems like even if I do parent my child correctly, there will be many in their generation that will just be completely mentally stunted and not really know how to communicate and work in the world, which sounds completely ridiculous and something that I'm just making up. But I really wouldn't doubt that we'd see in the next 5 to 10 years some really, really bad consequences. So that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video.
Hey, LVA Paul. All right, we can move on to the next one. Can you tell me the creator, please?
It is Halo Haley.
And what's after that one?
Then we got The Dark Future of Brain Rot Generation by Project Nightfall.
And below that?
And then there's high schoolers who can't read, Watching the Viral Student by Etiquette English Teachers. Etiquette? I think that's
Etiquette.
No, it's not etiquette. It's like etiquette or something like that.
All right, we're gonna check this one out, but we're gonna skip the next one and go right to the high schoolers. So, who's what was it? Halo Haley?
Yeah, HAYLO Haley, and then Haley HAYLEY.
Got it.
One thing that I want to bring to awareness. I'm sorry, bring us the kids nowadays. They talk real fast like rappers, or they see it on a video and they want to be like them, like in the video, or like Eminem or something. You know how they talk real fast. I don't understand them anymore. They got that ghetto-ness in there.
Not all kids, but and also they're also using different language, so you're really not following.
Yeah, they do. They're making up their own language, like you said. Yep.
Yeah.
And especially when they text, and it's like what they're saying. It's like all these abbreviations, whatever how you say it. But yeah, it just drives me crazy because I'm old and I don't want to deal with the patience for that anymore. Abbreviation, yeah. Thank you.
Media is changing what a child.
Good.
Childhood is supposed to be. And it's really depressing, honestly, because when did some of these kids become so wildly entitled?
So my 6-year-old just come home from school with an invitation for one of the kids in school's birthday for Saturday. Not a problem. And then I start to read the invitation, and it says that he has a little brother, age 3, and he likes Spider-Man, this, that, and the other. Please send him a gift also, because we don't want him to be left out.
What?
Wow.
What? I was floored. I was like, what? That's not our responsibility, hon. That's yours as a mother.
What the hell is this? Let me start off by saying this. I have 2 siblings, and out of all of our birthdays, mine comes first. I'm March 18th, my older sister is September 14th, and my younger brother is October 5th. And never once did they care if only I got a present on my birthday and not them, because we all kind of just understood that's how a birthday works. It's the day that...
Yeah.
Now, I will say, my sister did get a gift from my grandparents on my birthday.
Oh, no.
And I got a gift on my sister's birthday.
Oh, okay.
Something small. You know what I'm saying? But it was from my grandparents, you know?
My grandparents used to do that too, or my grandma used to do that. She would, like, if she got my sister a gift for her birthday, sometimes she would come by, sometimes she would send it. But yeah, I would get like nothing big, but it would be like just kind of like something small for me too, you know, just for whatever. And then if I got a gift on my birthday, like my sister would get something like small or something, you know, but not from my parents though, but from my grandparents.
Yeah, like here's an example. For my 8th birthday or 9th birthday, I wanted a Care Bears cheer bear, and the Care Bears were like kind of, you know, just, you know, getting popular just around that time. And because, you know, they were really popular, they got my sister Grumpy Bear because that's the one she wanted. So she also got a Care Bear because it was the thing that was in, you know what I'm saying? And I guess just so she could also have a Care Bear and not take my Care Bear. You know what I'm saying? It was like that. But like to expect every guest to bring a gift for the other sibling is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
That is so rude, so entitled.
Yeah, why can't the parent sit that kid down and explain to him that this isn't Christmas, this isn't like, you know, it's like it's her birthday, not yours. You know, this is her day, not yours. Like, I don't know, like that's always how things were explained to me if I ever had an issue when I was a kid. I just don't understand. Like, oh, sorry.
It's common sense to me. If it's not your birthday, well, shut the fuck up, you know. Wait for your birthday.
Well, yeah, you could word it that way too. Actually, maybe some of these kids do need it worded that way. I don't know.
That's the way
crazy.
my parents were like rough that way. Yeah, that's the way it was in my family.
I don't know. Might get to that point where they might have to start getting some not just tough love, but some rough love.
Very strict.
Well, that doesn't sound good actually, but you know, some tough love.
I think the parents need the tough love.
That's what I mean. And maybe, yeah, maybe it needs to come down from the top if the grandparents are still alive.
My parents didn't care about popularity or nothing. You know, who cares if you can be different from every other kid at school? Like, what? Okay.
Yeah, but you got government is collecting taxes. So when at our time, my dad was the only one employed. So the government was only collecting one paycheck, one taxes. So the government said, well, we need to get the woman out in the field so we can collect her taxes. So now the government has double taxes. And that's how the government works. They're greedy and they didn't think about the kids. The kids are now without parents because the parents are working 2 jobs now. They don't see their kids, and that's what the government wants because they want them to mold. The government wants to mold the kids or this iPad generation. Like, you know, they want to put all that AI on them so they can be cyborgs at the end. They love so.
Do you know what that is, Jose?
What?
In socialism and communism, the children are wards of the state, even when they have parents. It's control of the children. That the government thinks they know better than the parents. They can raise them better than the parents.
Mhm.
That's what you're describing.
Yeah, because the government wants cyborgs for their future. They're gonna depend on the computer. They're gonna get that. What is it? The mark of the beast, the computer chip, and everything. That's what their main goal. And I think
Yeah, well,
that's
those chips better program because they're not going to be able to focus to do anything. Hey, tell them.
yeah.
Astral, to save some time because we're really running out of time here. Skip her talking. Just go to the clips. Scroll to a clip.
Oh, wow, there.
There you go.
Later in the year.
So all last night, my daughter was like, "Can I borrow your cup? Can I borrow your cup? This is the cup." She was like, "Can I?" She calls it a Stanley. She was like, "Can I take your Stanley to school tomorrow?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine. Like, you can take it." She's like, "All my friends use Stanley cups. Like, they all have cups like that. Like, I want to take it." And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine. Like, take it." So she goes and she's like, "Oh, I got a Stanley like you guys." And these little girls are like, "That doesn't look like a Stanley." And she's like, "Yeah, it's a Stanley. Like, it looks like a cup." And they're like, "No, that's not a real Stanley. That's a fake Stanley. That's a knockoff." First of all, how do fourth graders know what the hell a knockoff is? And they're like, "That's a knockoff." So one little girl comes up to her and she's like, "Show me the bottom of your Stanley." And I guess Stanleys have logos at the bottom or something. So my daughter's like showing her the cup and she's like, "Yeah, that's not real. Your mom can't afford to buy you a real one." So this weekend, guess who's gonna go get a little Stanley cup?
Again, I beg the question, what the hell is going on? When I was a kid and I was still going to school, the water bottle table.
Wow.
To the video part.
How much are they? I'm Googling them because I know they're not cheap.
A big Stanley cup.
I remember when I was in grade
$45.
Oh wow.
At Target. I'm looking to see how much like a pink one like she has is. I'm just at Target.
I remember when I was in 5th grade, it was all about how expensive your baseball cap was, and if you even had a baseball cap, like I don't know, it was like the weirdest thing. It was like it showed your like class, like all the rich kids had like the expensive like MLB caps, and then like I had my like little league baseball cap, so I wasn't like I was like a serf compared to them because they had the expensive baseball caps.
Oh,
I don't know, it was just really weird. It was so odd.
These are $50, guys.
Wow.
$50. The one she was holding in her hand, the real ones are $50.
For a cup.
$50.
$50 for a 40 ounce. That's what she had in her hand.
Yeah, that better be
The
last
smaller
cup
ones are $35 for 20 ounces.
It better be the last cup you'll ever need. Have it till you die.
I found one for $45.
Still.
That's insane.
Wow, that better last forever.
That's insane. They're $45 to $50. 40. I'm sorry. 40 is the cheapest one.
What?
See if they're on sale. Nope. 45. 40. That's insane. So her mom's going to go drop $40 to $45 on a cup. Just so her daughter can fit in.
Or fit in, whatever.
For a couple weeks until the next thing comes around.
Until the next fad comes along, yeah.
Sick.
No, I
That
had to
is
deal with
sick.
I had to deal with all the backlash of not having the latest thing like my whole
Oh,
life.
wait.
Because my parents were broke.
Josh broke the thing again.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Said they were broke anyway.
Hey,
But they had
Josh.
enough money for their booze all the time, but they were broke.
All right. Hey, Josh.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, Josh.
Yeah, good to make it. Are you gonna take off, Jose?
No, I'll
Since I'm
stick,
here.
I'll
All
stick
right,
around
good.
10 more minutes.
All right.
We're only sticking around like another 20 minutes, so.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
sounds
Well,
good.
all right.
I didn't know we were.
Well, damn.
Sorry, I'll stop talking so much.
Shh.
Sandy has the Jose fever. Every time I come in now, it seems like Jose leaves and then Sandy ends the show. So
Yeah, that's
damn.
because you suck. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
apparently.
Josh is here. The show's gonna go to hell.
Well,
Yeah,
no, it's
I
because
should probably destroy
I
him.
have to leave. That's the problem.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
And we do have a show tomorrow night. So
Because you suck. That's not nice.
There's a show tomorrow.
No,
We never have a show on
the
Saturday.
Saturday show is tomorrow. It's
There's
tonight.
there's always a Saturday show.
Oh, tomorrow's Saturday. All right.
Yeah.
Right. Gotcha.
It's so there's a show tonight. So yeah, we're getting out of here soon. That's why I'm telling them to skip ahead to the clips.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
All
Didn't
right.
mean to derail.
Yeah,
It's okay. It's okay.
We don't get paid for this.
You don't? I'm just kidding.
my check is in the mail. I don't know about yours.
Yeah, my check's been in the mail for like a year. Like it still hasn't come yet, but
I
like,
probably forgot to put a
it got
stamp
delayed.
on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Gotcha.
You forgot to put the address on it.
All right, let's continue.
Decided to sit at a separate table for two so that she'd have the space for her iPad. I am really worried for the future. If this is the kind of stuff we're already seeing,
All right, fast
imagine
forward.
how bad it's going to get in iPads at the table. Gen X didn't have iPads at the table. So we don't know what the repercussions of this are going to be. And of kids sitting by themselves at a different table, watching their iPad instead of talking and interacting with their
Could you imagine?
This
Oh my
kid
God, that
has
gives me a
zero
headache.
reaction to anything that's happening.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm gonna go back to it. Oh wait.
Scratching his head in confusion. He's not reaching for the remote to try and find something else to watch. Instead, he's just sitting there, consuming an AI-generated video of Mr. Beast dancing to a sped-up track of somebody talking. And that's entertaining him so much.
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of an Idiocracy when that hour and a half movie called Ass won an award, and it was just somebody's ass for an hour and a half. Remember that part? Like that's exactly where this is going. I'm not even joking. That's crazy.
I don't remember that. Yeah.
You don't remember that part from Idiocracy?
No, I just watched Idiocracy for the first time. Like
where they were all sitting in the theater, and then he was like narrating it, and he was like, yeah, this won the Oscar for this year, and he said it was an hour and a half of nothing but just some guy's ass. And then if you watch the unedited version, it's just a guy's naked ass on the theater screen, and everybody's just sitting around laughing, and like they're just busting up laughing for a straight hour and a half. It's ridiculous.
I don't remember that.
You know, we're gonna switch up the video.
That's Idiocracy.
I'm giving you a video that's not in the list. I'm actually going to add it to the list right now. Give me a second. I just lost it. Where'd it go? Hello, where are you? There you are.
Hello.
Save the playlist. All right. We're going back to Zach. I knew I had the wrong video. This is the teachers are quitting. This is the one I wanted to show. It's in the private chat.
Okay.
And you gotta, me and Chariot of Fate, we were talking in the chat, and she mentioned, how is school over there? Is it violent? And it's like, yes, it is. They got police cars parked outside the parking lot, and they have a police office school, and all the schools are locked down. You cannot go in there without permission, or kids cannot go outside without permission. I mean, everything's just like a prison now, and the teachers are scared. They're scared to be in that school now, especially in high school. I mean, they gotta wear those vests.
Well, this is what we're running out of time, and this is what we're gonna show them, the Gen Alpha thing. So here, watch. All right, here we go.
Fifth grade class, and as someone with a lot of experience in the classroom and a lot of experience in reading, I just want you to know we should be really afraid about the future of our society.
Please start saying your child's legal name that's on their birth certificate before they start school.
This is our future. Gen Z, your kids cannot read.
All right, so today we're going to be taking a look at something that's been popping up on my TikTok more often, especially during this school year, and that's how difficult Gen Alpha is being in the classroom. Being disrespectful, not wanting to do anything that resembles work, always wanting to just sit on their iPads 24/7, and this has become so bad that I'm seeing many teachers quit and change careers because of this. And if that's what's happening while we're in a terrible job market, you know how bad this has really gotten. We have a lot to go over today, along with comments from you guys from previous videos, so if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below, but let's just jump right into it.
I'm going to tell you all this because your teachers can't, because they'll lose their licenses and their jobs. What are y'all doing with your kids? Your kids can't read. They're not potty trained. They're going into kindergarten, soiling themselves, not knowing how to use the toilet. Just like 1 or 2 kids, okay? It's like 5, 10 per class. Kids cannot sit through a movie. Buy them some pencils and paper and have them write. Oh, but you know, sometimes we just need a break. And like, I don't feel guilty about giving my kids an iPad and putting them in front of the TV. What do you think people did before iPads and TVs existed? This is our future. This is our future. Gen Z, your kids cannot read.
Over to the comments, parents are too addicted to their own supplements. The brain is a muscle. We can't have brain rot at age 3. I can't imagine what the consequences are going to be down the road. The creator responds, these elementary school kids all speak in brain rot, nothing but memes. A former teacher, most people genuinely suck at
pause.
It's really...
Yeah, that's the thing. They speak in meme. They are replacing words with, like, I did the post I did for tonight's show. I used like all the words of the generations. I left Gen Alpha out, but like to say we're screwed. Okay, so I had up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. That was the older generations. We're screwed. We're toast. All the way up to we're cooked, which is Gen Z. They say skibbity toilet.
What the hell is that?
We're skibbity toilet. It's a meme.
No idea. Yeah.
It's a cartoon.
I've never heard of skibbity toilet.
They'll say we're skibbity toilet or we're skibbity to mean we're screwed.
Who
like
says
it's
that?
That's what I'm saying. They speak in meme. Teachers are holding up props like jingling keys like people do with a baby to get their attention. They're teaching them the clock and they're going 6, 7 in class. They're the kids. Like our teachers didn't bring up Care Bears and My Little Pony in class to get our attention. Or G.I. Joe and Hot Wheels. They didn't bring that crap up to us in school to get our attention.
Yeah.
And the teachers are having to do that now.
What the hell is this 6-7 thing anyway?
Some rapper.
Yeah.
My mom thinks it's so funny. She
No,
looked it
no,
up.
it's not. No, it started with a random kid on the internet.
Oh, really?
A random kid on the internet. He's standing, I think, in the stands, and he just started doing 6, 7, and that's where it started from.
Really?
The rapper picked up on it.
Oh.
It's ridiculous.
It's almost
Whatever
like
it
another
is.
version of Carney that they're going to start speaking.
Do you have a clip, Sandy, by chance? No?
Yeah, I just don't have the time to do the clip. We need to play this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not rocket science. I don't understand. Now, I don't think being a parent is as easy as that comment says. However, I do wonder why you decide to have kids if you just want them to sit in front of the iPad all the time, just so you're not bothered. Now, I'm not trying to be one of the anti-natalists. I know that community is getting bigger and bigger online right now, and I'm definitely not a part of it, but what's the point of having them in the first place? You're just pointing your kids off to the teacher, and they're not learning anything from you. We have a comment from one of you guys right here. I was a teacher for 2 years. What I noticed is parents offsetting their parenting to teachers. Courtesy, manners, and socially acceptable behavior is meant to be taught at home.
Here,
But then
Josh.
teachers were expected to play parent and
Can you pull up this video? It's 22 seconds.
Yep.
Hi, old.
Thank you. All right, go ahead, Astro. We'll play this while he's getting the clip ready.
I'm here to be your
Where at?
teacher, not your parent. And it really sounds like every year that goes by, the horror stories get worse and worse.
Hey, I just subbed a 5th grade class, and as someone with a lot of experience in the classroom and a lot of experience in reading, I just want you to know we should be really afraid about the future of our society. Do you know that every single kid thinks they're going to be a content creator, and when you ask them what their hobbies are, it's all video game and addictive things that they think are hobbies. Hobbies are not that. Hobbies are not addictive things. Hobbies are the things that brought you joy before you were 5 or 6 years old. So maybe it was soccer, maybe it was animals, maybe it was going outside, but these kids don't know those things about themselves. Quite frankly, I don't even think they know when they have to go to the bathroom. I don't even think they know when they're hungry. They just want to get back onto their devices ASAP. And I'm not blaming their parents. I mean, as a society, I think we should have had better parameters and better education about this 15 years ago.
Yeah, pause. Perfect
Not blaming
timing.
your parents. It's always the parents' fault, you stupid lady.
All right, here's the clip. This is what 6-7 came from. Here, hit play.
Oh, okay.
Where's the sound?
Oh.
I don't hear it.
That's it.
What?
That's it. That's what it comes from.
Those
Really?
those two little kids.
Yep.
Why
That's
were they
it.
even? Why were they even saying 6-7?
Wait, they couldn't say it. Shit.
I see them
They
say,
couldn't
why,
say it.
why
Hold
would
on.
they
Can you
say
see
it?
the screen now? Can you guys see the video?
No.
Let me check. Wait. No, I still see the video that I put up, and I see 2
Yeah,
blocks.
right. Yeah.
Well, that's what's up right now. I'm switching it back.
Oh, okay.
You guys can't see it?
Yeah, now I see it. Yeah.
Now we see it. But okay, I see the kid go say, "Why?"
No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't see
No,
it.
I don't see it either. Yeah, it's still not.
Oh, it's gone again.
Now they can. They can see it now. All right, hit play.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was watching the wrong video.
There it goes. Yeah. That right there.
That's it. That's the
Why?
whole thing.
But why are the kids saying 6-7?
Who knows? Who cares? Gen Z doesn't care.
Hey, can I answer the question that that guy was wondering? Why you having kids and all you're gonna
We
do
got
with your
15
kids
minutes
is
till
gonna
the
give
end
it.
of the show.
Okay.
So
okay.
quickly, yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What the reason they're having a lot of kids is because they're having a lot of kids from different parents because of the child support. The women are getting the child support money and they get more food stamps.
That
It's
is
all
true.
about the money.
That is true. That was that.
Yeah,
That's how they destroyed the home. That's correct.
Yep. Okay, I'll shut up.
Yep.
All right, let's continue.
But we didn't, and here we are. So here's what you need to do. You need to set parameters with your child today. This is life or death. What job do you think they're going to get if they can't put their phone down for 5 minutes? What job do you think they're going to get if they can't even write their name legibly? What job do you think they're going to get if they can't spell the word caring and they're 11 years old?
Okay, so there's a couple things to talk about, but we go over to the comments real quick. I blame the adults, but no one wants to talk about that. I'm not blaming their parents. I am. I'm 37, and I know I have major issues with phone usage. Can't imagine this problem developing at 13 or 14. It's younger than that, to be honest.
At 3 or 4.
5, 6, 7 years old. But earlier in the clip, she talked about everybody believes they're going to be some sort of content creator in the future. Gone are the days dreaming about being an astronaut or a professional athlete. Now everybody wants to stream Roblox or Fortnite or whatever game's going to be out in the future. I personally think that this type of content does have a shelf life. I don't believe that you'll be watching me 10 or 15 years down the road. Something else will pop up. The landscape will be very different. And of course, it'll be wildly oversaturated if there's this many kids wanting to make videos.
I disagree.
What?
I mean, I was doing. I was watching YouTube 10 years ago. 2016 was 10 years ago.
There's content
Totally watching
creators.
YouTube.
There's content creators that have been doing it for almost 20 years. That are
Yeah.
still that are making like an actual living.
All I
doing it.
watch basically is YouTube. I don't watch TV or so-called anymore, except very occasionally.
Denied. Nice group. I forgot all about denied.
Yeah, there's more stuff on YouTube than anything. It's full. You
No.
can never run out of stuff to watch.
Yeah, and there's new stuff. There's literally like a year's worth of content. It would take you a year to watch. It's uploaded every hour.
And then there's
Every
more.
hour.
You never run out. Never.
No, it's over
a one certain subject maybe, but then you on YouTube, you just find something else you're interested in there, and you're going to hold another shitload of stuff to watch. Like, just never ending.
Whoa. Hammer's Fact says Ancient Aliens was totally trying to make Satan out to be a friend of humanity and not trying to destroy all of mankind, and literally said that Satan wasn't really a bad guy.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah.
And maybe it's time to stop watching Ancient Aliens.
Are they still even a show, or is that old? I don't even know if they do new ones anymore.
I don't think they have new episodes.
I only have YouTube. I mean, I only have internet. I don't have cable. So
All right, let's move on to the next clip. We are out of time. Come on, next clip. Like fast forward to the next clip. It's not him is what I'm saying.
Who has it? I got to go to wash them.
Astral has it.
Parents, I am a kindergarten teacher, okay? Please start saying your child's legal name that's on their birth certificate before they start school. Do you know how many children do not know their name when you're calling them on the roster because you've been calling them little man, man, princess, somebody? Call them by their legal name if they're going to start school.
I had a mother come say to me,
that's messed up.
Yeah.
Never heard that before. Yeah.
No.
Hey, dummy.
That's a new problem, I think. Yeah.
Dick bag.
Yeah.
Right.
What's your name, dummy?
Piece of shit. I'm piece of shit.
Here we go.
I'm unwanted. My name's unwanted.
Look at the classroom. Look at that classroom.
Oh my God.
Look at that classroom. Hit play.
Completely trashed. And as we'll see a little bit later in this video, there are almost no consequences for this either.
I'm sorry, but somebody's got to say this. These kids cannot be quiet. Like literally, physically cannot be quiet. And it's not just talking that's the problem. Just noise in general. It is constant no matter what I'm doing. I could be doing direct instruction. They could be working with partners by themselves, whatever. It is constant, whether it's this or the tapping or just the random noises that they make all the time. 6, 7, 6, 7. Like, why can you not be quiet? Like the overstimulation is just to a max. I can't even deal. Not only that, they've got the stupid fidget toys that are making noise. It is constant. What are we doing to these kids that they just can't sit there and just be quiet for even 10 minutes at a time? Okay. I truly don't understand. Please help. Send help.
Next.
How are teachers doing it? I just want to know how they're doing it. Why are middle schoolers so bad? I work as a permanent sub at a middle school. So I'm permanent. Therefore, I work full time. I'm contracted. I work every single day, all school day at the same school. Today was the hardest day I've had. I almost walked out of the class. I was so overwhelmed and overstimulated. And the craziest part is the teacher was there. I was subbing for a teacher's assistant. So I was in the class assisting another teacher. And it was my first time in this teacher's class. And this person had absolutely no control over these 6th graders. Like these students were throwing things, hitting each other, singing random songs out loud. They just wanted to hear themselves talk. They were walking across the room, over the desks and on the chairs. And everybody was talking over each other. It was crazy. And the teacher told me that they had given up. They just given up. And even with the terrible behavior, this teacher still took the class outside because that was like the incentive. Oh, if you're good today, I'll let you go outside like all the other classes did. That class was horrible. The worst class that I've been in that entire school. And this teacher still let the class go outside.
All over the globe are reporting that.
Yes.
You don't want me to pause it?
Yes, pause.
Yeah.
I have something to say. You know how they're controlling kids now? They're controlling the baby. You know when you take the kids to the daycare centers, they're putting sleeping patches on them. That's how they're controlling the new kids. They're putting them to sleep. Yes, it's bad. Okay, continue. Go
The
ahead.
kids raised with this new age technology are performing 2 times lower than their grade level.
I teach 7th grade. They are still performing on the 4th grade level.
They can't read or write properly. Not only that, but the rate of teachers quitting has never been higher due to Gen Alpha's terrifying behavior, which is aggressive and defiant.
Having to teach and work with you guys as children has been the most traumatic experience of my life.
This is a direct result from unlimited technology access, poor values, emotional neglect, and lazy parenting. Because shoving an iPad to a kid's face to distract them from their emotional needs was the worst thing you can do for a human's development. But now we're seeing this whole technology thing thrown through. Now these kids have no creativity of their own. Their attention spans have dropped to 1 second. They have unrestricted internet access. Do you know what inappropriate content can do to a kid's brain? It can impair them for life.
And imagine seeing all of that while you're 7 years old. Oh man, breaking down.
I will be so real right now. Teaching is not easy. Kids are mean. I knew going into teaching that every day was not going to be easy. Every day is a challenge in some way. And that's a big reason why I wanted to teach. But I hate the fact that I'm sitting at my desk crying for an hour after work because of the way that some of these kids think they're just entitled and straight up don't care about a consequence. They don't care about an incentive. They will laugh in your face. And it's hurtful because you'll go to the store and try to buy them $85 to $100 worth of gifts for them to shop. An entire cart full. And they don't care. They're not grateful. They want gifts and incentives for doing the right thing for everything. If you sit there and ask, hey, turn to page 10, they're asking you, what do I get for it? I'm sorry, what?
Now, I think a lot of the clips that we've seen, most people are thinking of middle schoolers and lower. They're the ones
right,
being super
skip ahead.
disrespectful, very nasty, especially because they're being raised on iPads more than anybody else.
It's like
But
it
they're
is
not
on
the
Friday,
only
like-
ones as well. High schools are having problems also.
So I'm a substitute teacher, and I've been at this school for like a month and a half now, so I know how they operate.
And to be fair, not all kids are like this, but the disrespect, like they don't know how to put things away. They don't know common decency. Like, why are you trying to cheat right in front of me? Like, okay, and listen, I wasn't the best student, like growing up either. I never cheated, but like, you know,
Hey,
it's just
post
like,
anything.
do you think I don't see you? Like, my desk is here. I can see everything you do. They're glued to their phones. They're either brain rotting here or they're playing like Brawl Stars. It's fantasy season, so they're looking at their lineup, whatever. But I you not, like, it's just do your quiz first. Like, one of the kids was just like playing a game. He wasn't even trying to cheat. I'm like, bro, like, I'm not your babysitter. Like, can you clean up after yourself? And keep in mind, that was organized this morning. Call me old, call me dated, but I just do not understand this generation.
It is funny.
My Gen Alpha students, I would say under 10, maybe 12. I am not speaking to their academic performance or their intelligence. All of them are very, very bright. I am not speaking negatively toward them. I'm just relaying my thoughts and observations. I feel like my young students do not have the background knowledge that I would expect them to have at their age and grade level. So here's an example. I had a student a while back. I was doing a vocal warm-up with them, and they're probably about 9 or 10 years old. And I was going to teach them an exercise that involves the months of the year in order. So when I started to teach them this exercise, they go, oh, I don't know the months. I don't know the months in order.
My 15-year-old sister-in-law still counts on her fingers for math and can't tell me anything about history or geography.
Pause.
And I know she was basically saying it without saying.
That's bad. That is so bad. They don't even know the months.
Right.
Do they know the days of the week?
So they want people so unaware that they don't even know what time it is, basically.
They don't know. Yeah, they don't even know where they're at.
Zombies.
And no one knows phone numbers anymore, including me. I've lost the ability to retain phone numbers because we just dial by name.
Yeah.
I can hear it splatter.
Yeah, I know. I just.
All right, hit play.
One person sent me a story about how she literally had a kid just come up to her and say, hey, I know that this is my grade, but I think that my grade should be boosted. And she's like, no. And she was pregnant at the time, and just trigger warning for anyone. Like, he literally, she's, you're not going to raise my grade. Fine. I hope your baby. And she like just said that and walked away. Oh and God. Literally reported to admin. Nothing happened. Just nothing happened. And that's just supposed to be expected to be fine.
Again, zero consequences for these kids.
That's sick. That is sick.
Yeah, that's their parents aren't teaching them. Yeah, I don't know. That's just bad. There's a lot on the parents there too.
Yeah.
Parents letting
Good.
but it has gotten so much worse this year. All of these teachers are having to deal with iPad kids
plus the fact that their parents think their kids are special because they're COVID babies. And I don't know about everywhere, but at least where I live, school literally started like less than a week ago. And I have already seen like 5 different viral TikToks of kindergarten parents complaining about the teachers. The first video I saw about a parent complaining about the child's teacher was the mom that was mad that her son's teacher didn't get like special decor for the room, and there wasn't a fun rug, like there wasn't fun decorations, and she didn't have a fun rug for them, which like in theory I understand, because it's like you don't want your child to spend like 5 days of their week in a classroom that's literally just like barren and sad. But what she doesn't like take into account is the fact that teachers do not get decorations supplied to them. They have to buy them themselves. She's getting mad saying like there's no colorful rug for my son to sit on.
And that's the kind of parents you have to deal
Then
with.
pause. We can actually stop it here because he's just going to talk and end it. But
makeup.
If the parents want a colorful rug, then the parents should go buy the colorful rug for the teacher. Like seriously, the teachers buy everything out of pocket. They don't get money from the school to go buy. The classroom is fully decorated from the teacher's pocket.
Wow.
They're not reimbursed by the school.
It shouldn't be that way.
But that's the way it is. So if you're a parent and you want your children's classroom to be more colorful or inviting, think about like getting a gift card for the teacher to go to Ross or something.
Or buy it yourself and bring it there, yeah.
Yeah, or buy it yourself and bring it there. Oh my God, Josh, do not say to unsub Jose. That's not nice.
Jose's laughing.
Oh my
It's gonna have
No,
to reverse.
crappy.
Now everybody's gonna sub to Jose now. 'Cause
Hey, bad
it's reversed.
bad publicity is good publicity for me.
Usually.
Yeah, my channel was built by trolls. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
I might do a part 2 to the show. Only because there's more stuff I need to show and we did not have time to do it. I do have to go, otherwise I would stay. But we do have a show tonight, so I need these guys. Well, like I said, Splatter, if you need a night off, you can take off tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to take off. It's just hard to have a show on knowing it, and I'm not there. It just, yeah, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so
yeah, taking a night off's harder than it sounds, is what I'm trying to say.
all right. I understand, but I'm saying if you need a night off, take a night off. It's all good. Hey guys, do me a favor, double check that you did hit like on the stream. I would very much appreciate it. Also double check to make sure you're subscribed here, because this is the second channel, not the main channel. And also, if you wouldn't mind, hype this up. If you're watching it on replay and you see that there's a hype button, I would appreciate if you hype it up so it gets shown to more people. Also, donuts, they're very much appreciated. They are so very much needed. If you don't know why, the previous video on this channel will tell you why, but they are never ever required. If you would like to donut, not required to donut. If you would like to donut, links are in the description below. Here is a baby donut blowing kisses at you. Here is a juggling donut that we don't get to see often. And here's a brand new Care Bears donut for everyone. Saying, yay, we're at the end of the show.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's Care Bears. I had to bring because I was talking about the Care Bears earlier. So I had to bring it up. Also, it is time for shout outs. So I need to get my banner up. First in the chat tonight, we had Daniel Riffle, followed by Walter Kokubinski in second. Noise Guru was in third tonight. Then we had Astral, Splatter, Jose, Josh, PayPal Me is back, Wendy B, LVK, Mustard Seed of Faith was here, Dr. Bob's Nightmare, Southern Sierra, Woo Riders DG and Mrs. Woo, Morgan, Analog Lime, Granola Grin, Heart Earth, LJ, Hammersfax, Noel, Wally, David, aka Logan Freeman, LVA Paul, Tell him, Post Anything Too, and I think that's it. It was a small crowd tonight because it's the second channel and all. Well, that's why I want you to make sure you are subscribed. All right, guys, I'm sorry to cut out quick, but I do have to run. Yeah, guys, is there anything you want to say before we go? Besides, we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Tonight.
Yeah, other than it was a small chat, but it was still the best chat in the world.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So the same.
They're extra best.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody. You're the extra best chat in the world.
Extra best. Yeah, that's a good. That's good.
If Josh didn't make it in tonight, I was going to steal that line because Pushin wasn't here, and I was actually looking forward to possibly stealing that line tonight.
Oh, you can steal it. You can still steal it. You can have it.
No. It's still yours. It's still yours. It's not the
It's
same
yours.
if you're here. If you already used it, I can't use it. It's just the rule.
No,
I
you can use it. Like I won't use it again.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's yours. See, now I feel bad because I don't deserve ownership of it. But
Oh yeah, we figured out a tagline, like a in line for you, but I can't remember what it is. But yeah, Pushing will remember what it is. Yeah. Anyway,
all right, maybe I'll use it.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're arguing about a piece of Kleenex or something. I already used it.
All right, guys. Please get some rest. Thank you all for being here. You guys are amazing. But we will see you tonight on the main channel. So hopefully you'll come back and join us there. Guys, you know what time it is. Say goodnight, guys.
Good night.
Say good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
See you later, my brother. My brother
Yep.
from another mother.
That's why I'm white and you're brown.
Yeah.
Good night, guys. We'll see you tonight.
Smash the two, smash the two, smash the two, smash the two. Turn the strap up, 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 turn the strap up. Please turn it off. Why must we watch Friends? 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 I've seen this show about 1,000,000 times. Not even funny when I'm drunk or high. Why must we watch Friends? Why must we watch Friends?
Is that freaky?
Why must we watch Friends?
Wait a minute.
This reality is not going to be very pleasant when all the good people leave.
I'm telling you now over 100 times to change the
Isn't even close. How could you say otherwise? The land's
everybody, Hebrew 77 here.
I'm doing good. Now that I'm home and off work.
Why must we watch Friends? That laugh track is so annoying to me.
Fog that's happening over across everywhere.
No. Pastor of Muppets.
This Asian man propagate never too late. Yes.
Working on. Baby, it's cold outside.
Part of your world, it flipped again.
We all come from different realities, like I explained last week.
Then watch TV, sit down and catch those belly. Why must we watch Friends? 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 Why must we watch Friends?